had a feeling that was going to happen. Okay, here we are again. I changed the volume on my computer while my headphones were in off screen, and I didn't check to see if it would change this emulator's volume as well, because I didn't have time to even look this week because of how busy I was. But it did change the volume, so I apologize for how low the volume probably was on the intro there. I have fixed it though, so it should be more audible to everybody now. If it's still too quiet, let me know. I'll turn it up. It's probably a little quiet on this screen because the prelude is a little bit quiet just in general, but it should be a little bit less quiet once we get to the actual like battling and all of that stuff. So okay, that's strapped in. Let's see who's here. Marie's here, Chris is here. Welcome everybody. Yes, phone. I know Monochromium Live is live. I'm literally sitting on the stream on my computer. I have tech issues. I don't know, maybe it's just the phone and the computer not like talking to each other. Something like that. Yeah, it's the final countdown. I can't sing that song because that's the only lyrics from that song that I remember. But it is the final countdown as we get ready to get started once again. Oh, I didn't pick a... Nobody said to the contrary for the job of the day thing, so I need to pick a job of the day so that everybody can decide whether we're playing with the remastered music or if we have the original music going on in the background. Well, let me think about that. Maybe we'll feel that one out a little bit first before I do that, because I mean it never, you know, it could end up being where it's just like, oh, you know what, let's listen to the originals music occasionally just so I can showcase the how it sounded on the NES. I may not want to like play with it in my ear for 2.5 to 3 hours. So let's just feel it out, shall we? So no, it's okay if you forgot, because I literally forgot until just now. So I'm right there with you, Marie. Right there with you. Low data, watching in 144p. This will be interesting. Oh boy. Does that mean my voice is getting garbled? Like anyway, let's boot up. That's the only thing I think about the PSP version that might be a little bit tricky, is that I think it has the longest loading times of any... yeah, and the audio is pretty good as well. Like, I think it has the longest loading times of any of the versions of this game that I know of, which may be a little bit of a problem, but honestly, I'm okay with it. If anything, it gives me a chance to take a drink of water when it's loading some stuff, so... I'm not in a rush, okay? Like, I can't be. I can only stream this twice a week right now, so I can't really be in a rush. How you doing, everybody? Welcome back to Final Fantasy III, the Stream Edition. And yeah, like Chris said there, with the world map music, it sounds like everything is pretty well balanced with the audio, so I think we should be good to go. Excuse me. Last time we began our adventure, we got our first set of jobs. So this is our current party setup. I have a pretty good idea about how I want everybody to, like, eventually be. It might be somewhat of a meta team, although if you want to fight the super boss, you have to have a somewhat meta team, but there will be a bizarre choice on there as well that will turn out to be, if it's anything like my playthrough my last playthrough of this game that I did, it will end up being busted OP, but we'll see how that goes first. Speaking of busted, we got a mythril ram on our airship, so now we can actually make it out of the valley by smashing the rock that is blocking the valley with the mythril ram. Hopefully I don't do any lasting damage to this very expensive piece of equipment. Damn it, I blew up my airship. And they died. I hope you enjoyed Final Fantasy III. Our heroes are dead, so... Oh, okay, never mind. They're fine. I was going to say, there's nothing more we can do. We exploded. But, of course, explosions don't usually kill RPG characters, do they? So, yeah, I guess we're all fine, and so is Cid. I wonder how Cid's going to react to his airship blowing up. Oh, is that all? What, exploded a rock with an airship? Well, at least Cid's a pretty good sport about the fact that I just destroyed a priceless piece of shipware? I don't know what the hell that would be called. Architecture? A priceless vehicle? Something like that. Not that the computer and the phone weren't talking, it's more sitting at my desk watching stuff on YouTube and also messing with your phone. Okay, fair enough, gotcha. Eternal Wind, stop hurting me like this! Don't even like your memories of 3. This game is quirky, but love the music enough that the music tends to stick in your head. Even remember the names of the tracks, people think you have some serious brain rot. I think if you have brain rot for Final Fantasy 3, that's probably better than some of the brain rot that you could have in the present day, quite honestly, but I might be biased because I'm old. But yeah, either way, I mean, the music in this game, at the very least, is really good. I really enjoy it. And, I mean, I've said it before, I've listened to the soundtracks of both the NES version and the remastered version, and I enjoyed the soundtrack for literally both of them. Pretty much equally, so. I was looking for these guys, so it's good that they showed up right away. This is a new enemy right around Canaan basilisks, so let's probably steal at least one potion from them. They're lizards, so if my Final Fantasy II senses are tingling the right way, they'll probably be just as weak to ice as they were back then. But let's see. Priceless antique vehicle? Yeah, probably. Something like that. Yeah, that's pretty good, Raphia. That'll do. Okay, can't quite get rid of them that way, though. As I say, I'll take that potion, though, but no, I will not. I forget which arrows I gave Luneth, actually. But I guess I'll take a look after this. It doesn't matter too much, though, because, well, in a minute we'll be gaining access to some newer, more efficient arrows. So. Okay. Ignis is the White Mage. Interesting maneuver.mp3 from Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn. Yeah, I don't know. It just sort of... I felt like it fit the party a little bit better. I just like the other 3 in different job outfits, because they all have fairly unique job outfits. Obviously, the purple... whatchamacallit, the purple turtleneck is a Luneth-only thing, so, like... I think, out of anybody, Eric is the one that kind of has the most, like, standard outfits. I think he pretty much... Like, the only thing I can think of that he has that's unique for him is the ascot that he wears in some of the jobs, but that's usually, like, only in mage jobs, which probably means that he should be in mage jobs, because he keeps his unique piece, but, you know, it's okay. I'm okay with where Eric is at. He can be whatever he wants to be, okay? Don't tell him what to do. Hey, Sephigo, how you doing? Welcome back. Did he die or just camouflage? Dead. Good question. There are some questions we may never know the answer to. Unique job outfits is a good thing. Like Final Fantasy V, adore the job outfits of the party members. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, I am all on board for unique job outfits. I think it's really good. A really good addition in this game, and I really like the artwork for a lot of them as well, so I'm definitely on board with that opinion. I feel like we should be in debt to you. We did destroy your airship. What do you mean, our hands on a new airship? It was your airship. I mean, I guess you want that just as much as we do, but... Oh, okay. Well, we'll see what we can do. We got to go all the way to Argus Castle in order to do that, or rather Castle Argus, but that might take a little while to get to. And Cid leaves the party. What I say, Bart's equals bog standard JRPG protagonist Lena. That's it. I think Bart's looks really good in a white mage outfit, though. Maybe that's just a weird opinion, but I think Bart's looks really good in that, so... I think Galuf also looks good in a white mage outfit, but it gives me a lot more like Gandalf vibes, which I guess is kind of what his whole gig is, so... Galuf equals veteran, yeah, that sounds about right. How many dead frogs does it take to get the XP to defeat God? The world may never know. Sounds like that one video that pops up in my feed occasionally where it's like, can you get to level 100 in Kingdom Hearts 1 on the Destiny Islands? And that's harder than you might imagine because if I remember correctly, the shadows that spawn when the islands are being swallowed by darkness, like there's a finite number of them, so you can't just fight them until you get to level 100. You have to basically do it in the Awakening, where, if I remember correctly, there's either no save point or only one save point. I forget exactly how it works. I'd have to watch the video again. I think I watched it at one point, but you know. Ferris equals I can be fun, but don't like it. More masculine than anything else. Yeah, Ferris has got that androgyny going on. Oh, a gnome village, huh? I don't know if we'll be able to find that village. Gnomes are pretty tiny. Oh? No, maybe we'll take a look for that. Maybe we'll find something even while we're at it. If I remember correctly, there's a new Mognet letter. Let's see. Yes, I'm aware of that. No, there is not a new Mognet letter. Okay. So probably what's going to happen is it'll show up after. I feel like it should have shown up by now. Maybe I'm misremembering. So, Cryle equals cute. That's all she needs. Yeah, fair enough. Okay, well, there's a chest down there. Some new stuff that we can buy as well, but actually, you know what? Before we go to the shop, let's do the little story beats that are here in town, because while we're in the process of doing those story beats, we'll probably grab a few items. Oh, good, another dancer. Sure, why not? The same dance as the one in the village of except this one has a red outfit on. As far as I'm aware, there's no, as far as I'm aware, there's just no difference other than that, so. And there's no reward for talking to all of them either. Oh, okay, I'll have to see if I can get my hands on that. Arrow's a white magic spell in this game. And also, if I remember correctly, flying enemies are also weak to bows, and the next dungeon that we'll be going to has a decent chunk of flying enemies that we can take care of. I'll go down there in just a second. I want to check something. There's something that you can do according to an FAQ that I read that I'm not really 100% clear on. So, we'll see in a sec. Oh, okay. I wonder where this Desh guy came from. Because there's not too much else around the peninsula here, if I remember correctly. So maybe he was heading to the village, the gnome village. I almost said the name of the gnome village just now, like 5 minutes before they spoil it for you. But, yeah, Sid's house is up here, so. What's up, Sid? Who's, oh. A bottle of elixir, huh? Now, where are we gonna get a bottle of elixir? Well, let's go ask around. Desh fun, yeah, something like that. It's a link, it's a reference to our other RPG playthrough that we did. He's just dashing around. I would say dashing through the snow, but there's no snow in this area. Is there any snow in this game now that I think about it? I don't think so. Okay, that was what I wanted to check. There was an FAQ I read that said that you can buy exactly 1 elixir from the shop once you talked to Sid, but apparently not, so that's okay though. Let's check our stock before we do anything else. Okay, we definitely want to buy some gold needles, but I'm going to buy like 8 because the next area has a few enemies that can actually petrify you, so I'd rather have those than not at all. I guess I'll hold on to the... Well, should I hold on to the White Slayer? Yeah, you know what? I'll hold on to it for now because there's eventually going to be a point where we can buy it from the shop, but until then, not really much of a point selling. Yeah, Des... like rain. There you go. I don't know. Like a little sleep deprived today? Oh, that's okay. I was right there with you not too long ago because I was a little sleep deprived all week. had to get up at 6 a.m. So my intention was to go to bed at 10:30 so I'd get 7.5 hours of sleep, and that literally never worked out because despite being at the job until 6 o'clock every day, I had to go home and file my reports off the job and also do the homework that all of the students have to do so that I am in the same position that all of them are. So, and so that I have good notes so that they can see that I'm a model student, because that's what I'm trying to do, is be a model student to them while also tutoring them in the same class. So I ended up going to bed at like midnight every night and got 6 hours of sleep or less while trying to tutor them and be in class and do all of that stuff for like 9 hours a day. That's lovely, isn't it? I'm not crazy yet. Come on, Polish man, you should know that one. What, des? So like des? Like that, maybe? I don't know, I've always said desh. So, it's like drachma. Although drachma is not so soft in that case. It's more of a hard, like a Germanic type of a thing, so. Yeah, desh. There you go. Oh, desha. So like a second syllable. Okay. I see. Just tired. Been super tired all the time now. Yeah, I understand that, honestly. As I said, yeah, good senpai. Trying the best I can. So let's give Sid's wife the elixir, and there we go. Surprised. Usually they have you give the person who's coughing away an antidote, and that's all it is, but there you go. That's all good. What do you mean by that? Well, you all got new jobs since the last time, since he saw you the first time, so. Oh, okay, delta. Joking, okay. I don't know what that's a reference to. Oh, okay. Yeah, coughing in an RPG? Death flag. Dead. She's going to die. So basically, you trade an elixir for a whole bunch of, like, fancy loot once you do that, because Sid is standing in front of the lamp that is used to open this secret passage in his house. And, yeah, so then you trade that to his wife, and they let you go inside and take all of the loot in the hangar that he's got here. And there is quite a lot of loot in the hangar, as it turns out. The blind spell, so you need this for 100% on your black magic list. I don't know if there's an achievement for that or not. There's also a great bow in here and some iron arrows, which is an upgrade directly to what Lunith already has, so that's a good thing. Some gnomish bread, which lets you cast the sight spell for free. Phoenix Downs. Nothing to zoom in on here, so. Oh, heck yeah, secret places, love these. Don't love having to trade an elixir for them, there's no ethers in this game, but do love another secret passage inside the secret passage. Isn't that lovely? With some extra money. More extra money. That's a Dragon Quest-ass room, something like that, yeah. And some more Phoenix Downs. You can steal Phoenix Downs from one of the monsters in the next dungeon, but if I remember correctly, it's not particularly common, so. Especially with low job levels. We'll be able to solve that eventually, but I don't really want to grind out job levels yet. There is a point in the game where I want to do like small little grinds, you know what I mean, but not like. I'll explain it when it actually happens, but as for right now, the job that I would want to do job grinding for is not a job that we have access to, so yeah, if that makes any sense. Alright, let's give Reppy a blind, just because, and this is going to sort, yeah, weapons first, isn't it? Yep. So you can sort with items first, weapons first, or armor first. For now, items first I think is best, but eventually in the game it might be better to sort with weapons first. We'll talk about why that is later. Oh, that's why, because he's just got the bow and wooden arrows. But the great bow is a significant power boost, and the iron arrows are also a good power boost. The nice part about the iron arrows as well is that we can actually just go to the shop and buy some more, so that'll be useful to us in just a moment. But yeah, that was the main thing that I wanted to do before we, moved on. Yes, ma'am, we will be. Alright, so we've got that all taken care of. So now, what else do I want to go do? There shouldn't be anything new in the armor shop, but I guess I could go double check. I don't really need any weapons, because we can't buy anything new for our mages in terms of their head and body armor for a little while yet. And I don't think there's any new stabs either, so the main thing I want to go get is a great bow and some iron arrows for Refia so that she can save on her MP a little bit. Maybe while I'm at it, I can save on all the yawning. Good lord, man. That's how tired I was. I slept for like 9 hours last night because I was just so dead in the water from all of the work that we did this week. So, but... Never figured out how to make bows even decent in this one. You will find out in this playthrough, Marie, because bows are, well, with a very specific class and a very specific setup, busted OP. But we'll talk about that later. So... Oh, we already got Cure. Might as well get Thunder. Might as well get Poison while we're here. I'm probably never going to use it, but hey, you never know, right? It's not like Scourge in Final Fantasy II. There's no, like, poison element. As far as I'm aware, it deals non-elemental damage with a chance to inflict poison, which is not particularly useful in any circumstance, quite honestly. None that I can think of, anyway. So... I don't know, it's just, I don't really like status effects that much in this game. They don't really, maybe it's just because of my playstyle, but they don't really do much for me in this one. So. Well, you can get a Mythril Rod, which I think might boost Refia's intellect a little bit, so it may be worth getting that at some point, but the thing about Black Mages in this game is that they can actually equip a good chunk of the first few bows. So I'm going to buy a great bow for Refia as well, and then just buy, I don't know, however many iron arrows I can. I want to get 30 more for Lunat, so let's at least get those for him first. And then maybe I'll buy 50 for Refia, because I don't think you can get any other better arrows for a while, so probably worth it to... Oh, okay, oops. There we go. Now they should all stack. There it is. And then give you the great bow as well. There we go. And obviously she won't be quite as good because, in terms of like using the actual bow, because, well, she's a black mage, so she doesn't quite have the strength for it. Although I think her strength and Lunat's right now are just about the same, so. But Lunat has the advanced command, which will help a little bit more. So. It's too bad the advanced command doesn't work like it does in Mario and Luigi, or else we'd be rolling in damage right now. So. These herbs ain't shit! Something like that. People who use statuses in this one entirely ignored them after seeing them be ineffective. AF, yeah, pretty much. Like, I'm trying to think if there's any statuses that I actually do use. I think the ones that I use mostly are the actual buffs, because the buffs in this game actually do have a use case. Especially one that I want to try using in this playthrough that I never really got good use out of in other playthroughs is Haste, because I figured it works similarly to Final Fantasy II. But in the DS version, and, well, any 3D version of the game, DS and PSP versions, I think there was one on PC as well, it actually has another use, because it actually changes your turn order a little bit to make whoever you cast it on faster. And that can help, because you can make your turn order more guaranteed. Like, for example, you can have your white mage be fast enough to go before the enemies for the next few turns, which would be pretty useful, I think. I think that's it. I think that's all I want to do here. We should be equipped all the way through. Refia's got all of her stuff. Yep. And then, I guess when we're out on the world map... Oh, I forgot to get rid of this cure. We won't need that anymore, I don't think. So, I mean, I guess I might as well hold on to it because... No, I shouldn't, because we can actually just buy it now, so... No real point in holding on to it. When we get on the world map, though, I think I'm going to use the gnomish bread that we've got there, so that way we can see, like, where we should go next. But, you know, we'll do that in a minute. 50 HP is going to start to fall off pretty soon, but we'll hold on to those for now. We can have this cure spell, and we'll hold on to everything else. And Nito, I think it's interesting anyway. Like I said, I usually didn't use haste all that much previously, so it'll be good to try it out. I always try to learn something new from these playthroughs as much as I can, so... Is there a new Mognet now? Now that we've talked to... No, okay. My notes say that there's a new Mognet in Canaan, but maybe it's like a little bit variant. I don't know. So, Sephico, just to confirm, when you're saying his name, you're saying it's Desish? Or Des? I'm still trying to pronounce it the Polish way. But, like, I'm trying the Desha, like the way that you have it up there, and I'm failing hardcore at it. So. Oh, Well, I wonder what task was so important that he had to leave her in favor of this secret passage that has a gold needle in it. Is there anything else in here? I forgot. Nope, doesn't look like it. Desh with a ch at the end, so Deshcha. Deshcha. Something like that. You are the last person that should be teaching Polish. Yours isn't so polished. Wah, wah, wah. I could always ask Garrick when he gets here, because I think he knows Polish as well, so. Okay, Deshcha. Gotcha. I feel like that would be really hard to say. Like, can you imagine reading this line with it being Deshcha? Like, oh, Deshcha, my beloved Deshcha. Actually, that wasn't as bad as I thought. Never mind. Oh, a dragon over there. That's not good. Does that mean we're on a dragon quest now? I guess so. I mean, we're looking for this Deshcha guy, but, you know. I'm just going to call him Desktop from now on. Is everybody okay with that? Because I'm okay with that. We need to go find my desktop. Should I rest at the inn? How much does it cost? 40 gil? Okay, that's reasonable. Yo, why is she wearing a traffic cone? Goofy wizard fit. Yeah, something like that. I just like the bow on the back of it, so. Wait, that is how you pronounce it? How did you intuit that in high school? You don't know Polish. In the FF3 wiki, it says Desh. Just Desh it up. There you go. I don't think it's specific, honestly. Like, there's probably an actual Polish name that's Descha, but, like... I mean, this game isn't voiced. It's like Pokemon, you know what I mean? Before Stadium games and everything else came out. Although the Stadium games sometimes have pronunciations that are a little suspect as well. So, pronounce it how you would like. Yeah, Destich, something like that. It is your destiny. Okay, so we are all set and ready to go. Now, the thing about level 2 magic right now is that we only have one spell slot for it at our current level, which is not really going to help us all that much. But if you run into something that's really giving you a problem, it might be worth it to, you know, use that thunder spell that we just got. All right, well, let's take the gnomish bread and let's take a look at the world map. There it is. Okay. So it's a little tricky to look at, but kind of like where we're at now is a town, so that means Canaan is directly above us, so anything that looks like a building is a town, or rather a white building is a town. And then probably the caves would be dungeons. There's a tower up near the north section of this area, and then there's blue caves. So I would imagine the blue caves are like towns in caves, and then the... Okay, so here's how it seems to be, basically. Like, there's the white buildings are towns, the red buildings are dungeons, or, like, dungeons in a building. The blue caves are, like, caves with no monsters. The red caves are caves with monsters. There's an arrow in there somewhere that does something, and then there's the tower, so. But this is what the world map looks like for now, so. It's kind, like I said, it's kind of hard to interpret, but at the very least, right now, we know that there's virtually nowhere else for us to go but the mountain, because if we try to go down here, well, after we get into a battle, there's some mountains that cut us off from the next area, so. The spell charge system was not kind to you, vastly prefer MP. Can you imagine only having 4 casts of Cura in Final Fantasy XII until late game? That would be difficult in 12. Because Cura is party-wide, whereas Cura is not. So yeah, that would be really tricky, especially in the Ogier Yensa Sand Sea. Good lord, man. I actually didn't have that bad of a time in the Sand Sea when I played the game a little while ago. It didn't really take much effort. I mean, I had some pretty good characters and some pretty good combinations, but, you know. Looks like we need just a little bit more damage out of Lunith in order to defeat these basilisks in one go with the advanced command, but that's okay. I'll let you do a physical attack. I don't have to be so concerned about my physical attacks in this one because, excuse me, it's not like in Final Fantasy II where it's like, oh, I had my Black Mage cast and use a strength attack, so they have a 50-50 if they get a stat boost of getting something I need, you know? In this game, that doesn't really happen, so we can just, you know, use that stuff willy-nilly if we need to. I have 100 arrows, might as well use them, so... Oh, I guess this is another new enemy, Bugbear. Bugbear! So let's take him out. I probably don't need to do that for you, and yeah, why don't you just guard their Angus? Angus. Oh my lord! Yeah, see what I mean about the damage? That damage that we got there specifically was because of the fact that Killer Bee is a flying enemy. All enemies that are flying in this game are very, very weak to bows. And that was just a critical hit, so good job on that, Lunith. Yes, cats, but if the cats don't dance, then they ain't no cats of mine. I was going somewhere with that, but I didn't go anywhere with it, as it turns out. Oh, the cat's loud? Okay, well. I don't know if there's anything I can do about that from here. Oh, he... So he's like a race car then. Got it. That's what I sound like anyway. Hey, it's the guy ladies would rather be with. A bear. Wah, wah. Wait, arrows were ammunition in this game. No wonder you gave up on bows. Yeah, because you had to, like, basically keep buying them if you use them up. But if you buy enough of them, you don't really have to worry about that too much, because then by the time you run out of them, you'll be able to come back to the place where you could buy them. That's why I bought 50 of them, because that's usually a nice enough number. I love this music. We already heard it on Sid's airship, but we know it's in a dungeon now, at least. This one, like, Eternal Wind lives rent-free in my head, obviously, but this one also lives rent-free in my head. Very adventurous music. I like it. Alright, let's climb the mountain, shall we? Hope there's no ice blocking my path. No, that's a different game. It's actually probably the next one that we'll be playing. If I remember right, these rooks are the ones that you can steal, whatchamacallit, Phoenix Downs from, so I guess we'll give it a shot. That sounds very nice, yes indeed. Persona 4 joke! Wow, Angus got his turn first. Angus. I'm sorry, I know that I've made that joke 6,000 times at this point. I probably will continue to. I hope that people don't mind. These rooks are the ones that can petrify you, though, if I remember correctly. So, yeah, as you can see, we will not be hurting for damage for a little while here, because bows do lots of it. I'm using my Black Mage as a second warrior for right now. That's crazy. Oh, we're getting some job levels, too. That's nice. Just transposed his name and got Ignis. It looks way better. Yeah, fair enough, honestly. Where am I thinking of? Oh, yeah, that's it. Final Fantasy 15, because there's already an Ignis in the, like, the pantheon of Final Fantasy. But I suppose that one... He spells his name with an I instead of a U, doesn't he? If I remember correctly. I'd have to look back at Final Fantasy 15's, cast list to see if that's... I think so, because Gladio is Gladiolus, and Prompto is just Prompto. So. Oh wow, and KO. That's no good. I'll take that. No, I won't. Well, we haven't been petrified yet, so that's at least good. I'm gonna knock on my head because... No, actually, I have wood right here. I was gonna knock on my head because I'm like, I have no wood near me, but... I do have wood right there. Personally, I don't mind, though it's the first time you heard it, you think? Yeah, there you go. It's a Persona 4 reference because Teddy is a, well, teddy bear, and he makes a lot of bear jokes. So... I'm actually kind of surprised because not only has Angus been getting, like, the first turn pretty reliably so far, he's also got the most HP. It's probably just fairly random right now who gets the most, but I guess I'm a little surprised anyway. Just keep getting those levels and job levels there, Lunith, and we'll go some places. The next boss, if I remember correctly, is level 11, so if you get to about level 11, you should be good. We're still at, what, level 8? No, we got to level 9. Okay, cool. I forgot about the level up that we just got, like, 6 seconds ago already. That's okay. Let's see, hang on. So 10 vitality. Yeah, everybody's got 10 vitality for right now, so our HP bonuses will be about the same for everybody. Until a little later when we start getting into, like, level 10 and above. That's the thing, is that up to level 10, if I remember correctly, for the most part, jobs all have very similar, like, stats. And then after level 10 is when they start to differentiate a little bit, so... I wonder if these fireflies are weak to blizzard. They cast fire, if I remember right, so I'm gonna give it a shot. Bird down! He's Teddy to make more unbearable jokes. I think that might be one of the ones he literally makes. You're channeling his energy. Ow. Except not, because as it turns out, thieves in this game are pretty defensive. It's not quite evasion tanking, but yeah, there you go. I'll take that. When in doubt, go left, so that probably means right is not the correct way. Or are these the ones that can petrify you? Are these the cockatrices? No, these are Helldivers. I think cockatrices are like a palette swap of these later in the game, so... Guess we'll find out, won't we? I'll discard. I was gonna have Ingus do actual damage, but it doesn't look like he needs to, so... It's just those rooks that have a little bit of extra HP. Ouch. I would say ouch, but that only did 5 damage, so... It's nice having everybody in the back row. It makes the damage a little more manageable. That ray sure felt a sting, eh? I can see the tiredness now. Ah, there's the arrow spell. So yes, we can use arrows to shoot the enemy out of the sky, but we can also just use the white magic spell arrow, which will deal bonus damage to them too. The only trouble, of course, is the fact that it is a level 2 white magic spell. It's not the other level 1 white magic, because if it was, that'd be really nice, but yeah, it's level 2, so we have to... Basically, we have to be a little careful with what we use it on. Although I think, yeah, now we've got 2 spell charges, so at level 2 black and white magic, so we'll be able to use them a little more often. 245. Oof. Yeah, indeed. The damage numbers are pretty nice. So, guard. Nice thing about guard is it still lets you get job levels from taking an action, and it has increased priority, so it'll go before pretty much everybody else goes, at least for right now. Eventually there will be other job abilities that you can use that will go first instead, but yeah. Until that point, guard is pretty much your +1 priority move. Okay, good. Getting some job levels. Like I said, I'm not really super concerned about job levels until... I'll just tell you when I'll be concerned is when we get to the fire crystal, which is the next crystal that we'll be looking for, so... Are you saying wicked because he lit me on fire like a wick, or did that... Am I reading the joke right there, or am I just as tired as you are, Chris? It's distinctly possible. Like I said, I've been so sleepy this weekend, so... I've been trying to think about, like, what I want to play video games-wise, like, during the week, when I'm not, like, playing this, because obviously we're playing this during the weekend. So having something that I could fall back on during the week if I just don't have any work would be nice, although thinking about it, I don't really see myself not having any work during the week, you know? I've been so busy. Alright, what's in here that it was guarding? Those things were guarding. Gold needles, okay. Well, actually just one gold needle. A little goofy, but, you know, might need more than one. No, actually, Ingus, you're the only one that needs it, so... Totally blasted, you funky little 14-pixel blobs. Yeah, there you go. Because you've got that 144p going on, that's not so good. in terms of the ability to see everything. 261. Okay, 279. I think that's good. If we don't level up to 10 before we get to the next area, I'm okay with that. And, but make sure you grabbed all the chests before you walk up here. Because if you don't, well, the dragon's attacking. Nice dragon? Maybe? No, not nice dragon! Not nice dragon! Don't know, maybe try Minesweeper. I could try Minesweeper. I have it. Everybody has it as far as I'm aware. I've got my PS5 plugged in. I could always just play Tetris Effect, because I don't really see myself having more than about a half an hour at a time during the week where I can actually play video games, so... Oh, it has babies! So now here's the question. Are the babies that dragons, or are the babies another dragons, and that one's the papa? Yeah, oh, hi there. I know who that is. You're not a dragon. I found my desktop. What do you mean we let ourselves get caught? You say that like we did that on purpose. Wah, wah. Yeah, here's Descha. There we go. I got it. Uh-oh. The dragon's back. We should probably try to leave. Guys, no. Leave. Use the flee command. Get the hell out of here. So you can beat this dragon right now, but it has like 65,000 HP, if I remember correctly, so I'm not really super concerned with the idea of beating it. And speaking of which, it's not any dragon, it's Bahamut! Okay, well, I think I need to get the heck out of here. I don't even have, I don't have a rat tail, for one thing, and for another thing, I don't have a summoner, so I get nothing out of this fight, so let's get out of here, Scope! Flee, by the way, is not an increased priority move, so... Ow. Run! Run for your lives! Maybe take Gruffia's body with you. Okay, well, she made it out despite being dead, so, you know. Doubt she'll ever get a newer console again, to be honest. They're super expensive and nothing you want is on them. Yeah, I think the only reason why I ended up getting the PS5, if I remember correctly, is because the PS4, they didn't sell them standard anymore, so I had to either get a PS5... Like, basically, I would have paid as much for a refurbished PS4 as I would have for a new PS5. The PS5 is backwards compatible, and I have no way of knowing whether a refurbished PS4 would even work properly for very long, so, you know, might as well just buy the new one. Oh, what about Outer Wilds? It's playable in under 22 minutes. I've always thought about playing Outer Wilds. I might play it for the stream at some point, but usually when that's the case, I like playing it blind. Like, games like that blind, so that I don't know. Like, I've heard good things, but people always say, no, you have to play it, I can't spoil anything. So, when I hear that stuff, I'm always like, okay, maybe I should wait and play it blind for the stream, you know what I mean? So that way it's not like I spoil it for myself. I can play it candidly, but would it be the same reaction, you know what I mean? I don't know. So. And you wouldn't believe what plot-hiding ailment he has. And Bahamut jump scared at the beginning of the game. Bahamut went home and became a family man. There you go. Last console was the Wii U. As for Sony, PS2. Well, those are some good consoles. You're maybe one of only 17 people on the whole planet that bought a Wii U, but there you go. I don't actually know that. My brother had a Wii U as well, so he's another one of them. But I was told that the Wii U did not sell very well, so... PS5's been out for ages and nothing you would play is on it. You've never played Xbox anything and mostly play indie games since Nintendo is doing a good job of pissing you off. I heard the Switch 2 didn't really go the way they want it to go, at least. I mean, I think the launch went pretty well. They sold a bunch of them, but public opinion seems to be not on their side when it comes to that. Should we, like, leave more of the nest? I've been sitting here talking for a couple of minutes and I just realized we're literally still in the dragon nest. Shouldn't we, like, get out of here so Bahamut doesn't keep attacking us? Anyway, Descha has the mini spell. But he doesn't have the level 2 magic to use it, so... Oh. Huh. Well, that sucks. Amnesia, but not on the main character. That's new. I don't know, because there's 3 of us and 1 of you. And also, yeah, there's that, too. I guess we'll figure it out. It's got to be somewhere on this world that you have the thing to do. So if we can help Descha jog his memory, he'll join the party. I don't know that we'll be able to help him, but we'll see what we can do. And he'll be our 5th guest member for a little while. And also, of course, now we have the mini-spell. You want to be at least level 9, by the way, before you go to this point in the game, which means low-level challenges are mostly dead in the water at this point, because you need to be able to use the mini-spell twice. Well, really you only need to use it once, but, you know. Gotta go play Death demo version. Might be back after the nap. Sounds like a plan there, Chris. Take your nap. And then, you know, get some practice. And then head on back after the nap. We should be here for another couple of hours, so there you go. Have a good one. Sold multiple millions. Many people return them after they get bricked. Yeah, that's not good at all. That's no good. Healing cops. Oh, look, a gnome. Oh, okay. Okay, so the village is called Tozus. Tozu? Something like that. And we can visit it if we mini ourselves. But first, let's get a full heal. Awesome. And also, if you drink from this spring, I think it, yeah, removes statuses. That includes the mini spell, so if you use mini, well, you'll remove it if you use that spring. Thankfully, we can just... Oh, hang on, I gotta learn mini. There we go. Use the mini spell, and you can use it on all party members, so you don't have to use it one at a time. So that's nice. And then you can drink from the HP and MP spring, and it'll let you restore your MP that way. It also looks like you move a lot faster when you're minied, but you're really moving the same speed, it's just you're tiny, so... Sleep is a good controlled death. Have a nice death. That is also the name of a video game. Yeah, Have a Nice Death. I heard about that one. I haven't seen any footage of it, but I've definitely heard about that one because the name is so iconic. No, good. Not kidding. There's no real checking for a bricked Switch 2. These people are reselling bricked Switch 2s. Okay, and yeah, I can see that being a bit of a problem then. And I mean, I'm making that sound like it's not a big deal. It is a big deal. That's a bricked console that you're scalping people for. Like, gross. Like I have a hole in the back of my head. Raffia, what do you think? They didn't have morals when they bricked it, so they wouldn't when selling it. Yeah, you know... Fair enough, actually. Alright, so, the Village of the Gnomes has to be down here somewhere. Now, we are minied currently, so the thing about mini is that it drops your physical attack and physical defense to 1, so you have to be a little careful because the enemies around here will probably demolish you if you're not careful, but we should be able to handle it. I hope. I'm still going to have Lunith doing physical attacks if we run into things as a warrior, even though he's, you know, got 1 physical attack. We just got to find the Village of the Gnomes. It's got to be around here somewhere. Alright, so, how do we do... I mean, I guess I could use Flee, honestly. There's no knife that upgrades from me using Flee, but not really much of a point in fighting this battle. Oh, okay. Never mind. I was instructed that that was a near guarantee to escape with the Flee command, because I looked it up on the wiki, but apparently not. That's fine, we can just zap some things and then go from there. Might as well use Arrow as well, because since our physical attack is, well, 1, Lunith is going to get approximately no damage out of that bow. I still want him using it, though, to be fair. So, because it will come in handy for something later if we have him continue to use the bow for something. So, yeah, as you can see, not much damage out of that one. Ow! Okay, so we might wanna actually take these guys out relatively soon, guys. Right? Just saying. Let's get a cure going. I mean, I could do this without being minied. You only need to be minied down near where the entrance is, and I don't remember where it is, to be fair. But I could use a gnomish bread to find it. True, just know Nintendo's getting sued by Brazil for bricking consoles. Oh, okay, gotcha. Iwata's rolling at Mach speed in his grave, yeah. He would not like what's happening right now if he was around. Rest in peace, Iwata. Heard that using third-party accessories can get you bricked. Imagine you buy a different stand for your Switch 2, you dock the thing, and a couple of hours later you can't use online features anymore on a console that has you downloading your games instead of having the dang game on the cartridge. Yeah, that's not good. Oh, there's the village. It's just a little further to the left than I thought. And now the gnomish music. Did you just call me a weenie? No, he's teeny and we're weenie. Oh, okay, huh. I'll have to take a look for that. Let's sell the most expensive console ever, then lock you out of it. Not my Nintendo. Yeah, that's not really very kosher of them to do. Oh, I guess we got a new message from Topapa. You know what might have happened, actually? Here's my thinking, right? We're supposed to have gotten a message, 2 messages actually, from Taka at this point. Maybe because I didn't talk to him after, like, the story events, maybe I have just not been getting messages from him. So let's, basically, once we get the ability to go back to Canaan, we should probably just go back and to Kazus as well and talk to him, so. Wow, you got a UR. Lucky gotcha. Something like that, yeah. Anyway, this is the message from Topapa. A traveling merchant came to Ur the other day. He was riding a chocobo. They're fine steeds indeed. Wonder how he got there on chocobo. Because I don't think there's any way to do that yourself, excuse me, when you get access to chocobos later. I'm just staring at you blankly because I'm not used to everyone speaking in rhymes. Sure. What do you mean? One person calls me a weenie and the other person tells me I smell funny? What the hell? This village is for the birds, man. Oh, Dr. Shelko. Okay, we'll go see if we can talk to Dr. Shelko about the way to Moralka Basin because, I mean, it's forward progress. I don't think anybody specifically tells you where to go in this part of the game. You're just kind of going and exploring the world with Desh, which is fine, you know, just have a little adventure, why not? So, I guess you'd get Arrow here if you didn't get it on the Dragon Mountain, but we already got it, so we should be good. Have anything I need to sell? Still the White Slayer. That's fine. Yeah, I figured it was ultra rare, yeah, so. You playing FGO and waiting for the second summer banner. There you go. You and your almost 1,400 quartz are not ready, but it's gonna come. You got the AESC, is that AESC? It is AESC there, and that's not enough. I don't know if AESC is another abbreviation or if that's like ASK or something. Oh, okay, huh. Wonder where we could actually get the spell site. Yeah, we'll look for it later. But yeah, they sell some gnomish bread here, so if you want some, you can, well, have some. I don't really need it because I kind of know where I'm going. The thing about Final Fantasy III that's a little bit different from 1 and 2, at least in my eyes, is that it's a little more straightforward. There are some dungeons with some bizarre, like, layouts, but not very many. Most of them are pretty much, like, moving forward types of deals, you know? I guess all of them in all of the games are moving forward types of deals, but, like, this game really is fairly linear with a lot of its dungeons, so... Do we need to heal? We do, because we got beat up by those bugbears, yeah. Now, you'll notice, first of all, that that's 80 gil a night. That's a little bit, but that's okay. You'll notice that inns in this game do not heal statuses, because if they did, I would no longer be minied, and I am, in fact, still minied. So just keep that in mind. If you do, in fact, have to heal statuses, you should probably do it with, you know, a status healing spell, if you can, before you sleep at the inn. So that way you can heal, and then after you heal, you can, well, sleep and then get all of your MP back. Like, heal the status with your MP. Also, Grazian pulling it. Oh, Ask is the name of a character. Okay, that makes more sense. Oh, I can see that being a bit of a problem. Maybe you guys should train another doctor then. Just a thought. I'm something of a doctor myself. I have a white mage, so... I'm surprised, though, because I feel like they'd probably be able to just bring him a potion, because I think that's all you need to bring him. Also, there's mithril bracers on the table here, and a fire staff in his bookshelf. And the fire spell in another bookshelf. That's some really good stuff. Wow. There's also Cura here. Is there anything else? No, doesn't look like it. Maybe here? No. Yeah, some really good finds there, actually. So, Fyra will be really nice for later. We won't be able to cast it for a while yet, but it'll be really nice for later. Same thing with Cura. And then the Fire Staff, which casts the fire spell when you use it as an item. Although, if I remember correctly, in this game, you can't just use the Fire Staff unless you can use staves themselves. Which means that pretty much Ingus is going to be the one that gets the main, like, mileage out of that. It's good to have, though, because you never know, it might come in handy for just letting him do damage without having to use his MP. And actually, his intelligence right now is pretty good anyway. Not as good as Ruffy is, but yeah, it's only 1 point off. Oh, it's not just attack and defense, it's also strength and vitality. That's no good. I wonder if that has an effect on, like, when you level up, actually. Like, is it a debuff that actually affects your HP that you gain when you level up, or what? Because if that's the case, it might be better to not level up while we're minied. Anyway, he needs an antidote, so... Apparently the item shop owner didn't think about the fact that he could just do that, so... I thought he was going to say sample mushrooms in the woods. I guess they wouldn't sample mushrooms, right? Because they're gnomes. If he samples the wrong mushroom, he's not a gnome anymore because, you know, that thing. Oh, okay. Well, I very almost pulled that myself, but, you know, that'll work. Another secret passage. Oh, okay, cool. Thanks, Doc. Was that necessary? Okay, that's fine. Alright, so let's go down to the, I don't even know what this is called, actually. Tozu's Tunnel or something? Anyway, there's Phoenix down here, and also another Phoenix down. Cool. You now remember why you like the song? Yeah, Tozu's Tunnel, that's it, okay. It oozes folklore vibes. Yeah, it really has that kind of, like, upbeat, but also at the same time, like you said, folklore kind of a vibe. Sounds like something I'd hear at maybe like a medieval festival or something, you know? I think there's enemies in this tunnel, but, well, as I said, it may be better to try to avoid actually fighting anything for right now. But I don't think this guy would give us enough experience to level up. Dark face! So let's just fight it out and see what happens. But yeah, as you can see, we don't have any charges for fire, so we won't really be able to use it all that well. I'll just use Thunder. And then, instead of using Arrow, let's go down to the Fire Staff. See how much damage that does. Phew! It also doesn't use up the Fire Staff either, so, you know, that can be pretty helpful. Love how those are human-looking skulls. Yeah, like, what ate these human beings that are apparently here? Come on now. But they're bigger than you. You telling me someone was tiny enough to get down here, but they were bigger? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that's all about. It's just, I mean, obviously it's just there for placement, but, like, you know. Alright, we've beaten this dark face before. I'm gonna try fleeing, actually. Because, like I said, I don't want to level up with 1 vitality. I don't know how that affects your HP growth, but I don't want to risk it, so... Alright, Eric, I'm actually going to need you to, like, not fail flee. Again, my understanding was that it was just about guaranteed, so... If we fail it enough times in a row, though, I may literally just beat the battle, because the more actions we take... Okay, there we go. The, more chance of getting a job level we'll have, which, by the way, how are we doing on those? 6, 5, 7, 6. Okay, that's fine. But yeah, it's probably better to level up up on the surface, so... Thankfully, as you'll see in a second, there we go. There's the surface! Perfect, so now we can level up here. after we unmini ourselves. Let's do that real quick. Okay, so we don't have the third level 1 white magic spell or the third level 2 white magic spell. Not that we can really use them all that much just yet, but, you know, I'm feeling like maybe they should have rearranged some of the spells that they've got here. Alright, let's wander around just a little bit so we can fight some enemies around here. I don't know if there's anything new, but there might also be... Yeah, okay, there's one. Mandrake, I think, is the enemy here. Yeah, so that one's new. But eventually we're going to have to mini ourselves again, is what I was going to say, I think. So we don't want to, you know, have to worry about that. Oh, good. Dash has a katana. Well, he gets 4 hits off. That's pretty good. Remember this part of the game? You hated it? Yeah, I mean, there's some things to dislike about this part, I guess. So. You know, probably the reason why Refia and Ingus's job levels are higher is because they keep getting the first turn, now that I think about it. So, but yeah, that's okay. Everybody's getting the EXP for right now. I'm not really super concerned about job levels for a little while. They will eventually be important, but again, probably not until the Fire Crystal. Anyway, we're in the Vikings Cove now. Let's see if Desh has anything new to say. Perhaps it was later, the part with the rodent. We're getting there. Not too long from now. Yeah, so if you switch to magic jobs, the magic jobs, they get full power out of their actual magic. So, and yeah, also switch everyone to the back row for that matter. But again, in my particular case, because of what I want to be doing later in the game, I still want Lunith to be doing physical attacks in every single battle. He may lose out on some arrows in the process, but that's actually perfectly acceptable because, if anything, it helps him continue to train his ability to use bows, which may not be something that he can do that effectively for a little while. Oh, okay. Why can't you sail? Got a little scurvy? Oh. A little bit more difficult than scurvy to take care of, huh? Well, that's not good. I mean, I wasn't able to slay the other dragon. I was able to go through the secret passage, but to the spark dagger. But maybe we can slay this sea dragon? No, I don't think that's going to happen. We get lightning damage out of the spark dagger, which means even in the back row, if the enemy's weak to lightning, Eric can now do some pretty good damage, so... It's not going to be great damage, but hey, you know, it's fine. What's a Viking without his ship, a warrior? Oh, okay. I wonder if this Nepto Temple knows the secret to defeating the dragon. Barely later. Yeah, the dragon. You were almost stuck. Die to the dragon and die to the dang rodent. Yeah, that's no good. That'll definitely hold you up just a little bit because those are your main options going forward. I mean, you can live, but that's easier said than done, you know, so. And I guess if you didn't get the mini spell or if you had another white mage or something and you wanted mini, you could just do it that way. I wonder if I could use mini on enemies. I don't think I've ever tried that, and that seems really bizarre, but I don't think I've ever tried that. So, maybe it'd be worth it to try it on this playthrough. I didn't get to use mini in Final Fantasy II, but it's basically just another version of instant death, so... Might not be bad. Maybe we'll give it a shot. We'll see if it, like, defaults to our party members when we try to use it. If it does, then it's probably not something we can use on enemies, but... I know that in Final Fantasy IV, mini is a little more useful. I'm surprised, actually, because Final Fantasy IV is kind of where summoners really start to take off in the series, but I don't really use the summons all that much. Mostly the character that's a summoner also has black magic in 4, and mostly I end up using her black magic for debuffs, so... At least we know that's something I can look forward to eventually. But we can talk about that later. We're not on 4 right now, we're on 3, so let's do 3. Oh, and I should mention as well, at the moment, as far as I'm aware, there haven't been any treasure chests that we just have absolutely no way to go back and access later. But there is a treasure rating in this game. There's a certain character. I don't remember if they're in a certain village later or what, but there's a certain character that lets you track your treasure rating. Kind of similar to Skies of Arcadia, if I remember correctly. And that character, since you can check your treasure rating, you can have 100% treasure rating if you've found all the treasure chests. So, yeah. Might be worth it to try to find all the chests if you can. Oh, look, I'm a cannoneer now. Wouldn't the pink slip from Valhalla be a little bit of a problem? Because that means you're leaving heaven. Maybe that's the point. Yeah, well, maybe the boss will be able to tell us what to do about that thing. Boss, what's your thoughts? Yeah, I heard about that. I don't know if that's going to be something we can do, but we'll see. Yeah, I was going to say, if we defeat the dragon and don't sink the ship in the process... Oh, okay. Well, maybe the Nepto Temple will be able to tell us more about the Nepto Dragon, because, I mean, I imagine fighting this thing in a straight fight is going to end up pretty much exactly like what happened with Bahamut, so... Maybe instead of doing that, we'll just go through more secret passages. Well, he's a little busy moping and wallowing in his misery. Oh, some chests here. I hope they don't mind me taking these. Oh, okay. Well, there's a Viking axe in there and 3,000 gil. The Viking axe is something that warriors can use. So there you go. But I think that's a life spring. So like the ones that say nothing happens are the ones where if you have characters that are KO'd, it'll revive them. But we could give the Viking axe to Luneth, I suppose. It's even better than the Great Bow, but you also have to stand in the front row to use it, so... Now, that being said, I've been, you know, talking up bows this whole playthrough for a good chunk of it anyway. Dual wielding in this game is actually really good because you get more than... Like, if you equip two weapons with the same strength, you get, if I remember correctly, more than double damage out of the overall damage that you deal because you're swinging double the hits, which it's not just straight up double the damage. It's closer to, like, if I remember correctly, 260% of the damage you would deal. So, like, you're dealing 100% damage now. You would deal, like, closer to 260. So it's almost 2.5 times the damage you'd normally deal, if I'm remembering correctly. So the island, the Final Fantasy V island in 14 is Cannoneer as a phantom job. Think a sub job for phantom jobs. Oh, okay, gotcha. Cannoneer is really nice. Your cannons deal stupid high damage, and it's AoE. I wish I could use Cannoneer a little bit more, because it's always been a job that kind of mystified me in Final Fantasy V Advance, because you just never really get to use it all that much, you know? Alright, well anyway, before we do anything else, let's save real quick. I don't think it's really worth it to go out on the ship right now, because going out on the ship right now would probably lead to us being absolutely demolished, because the Nepto Dragon is a dragon, and we've had very poor track records with the dragons, so... Actually, before we do anything else, let me go actually turn on the lights in here, and turn off my air conditioner, because it's actually mildly cool outside right now, so give me 1 second. Okay, there we go. Figures it's like 95 degrees all week, and then the weekend comes along, and actually I'm kind of happy about that, because the weekend comes along and it's cooler means that all of the time that I'm spending sleeping, it's actually cool in my room, whereas the time when I barely get to sleep, it's too warm, so... Oh, they brought back Oracle too? Oh, okay, gotcha. Starfall got slightly nerfed, but people are still learning that it can kill you! Yeah, that's pretty common. When it comes to Oracle attacks, they sometimes hit themselves with their moves, because it's kind of hard to predict something that exclusively hits one side of the battlefield. So, all right. So let's do that. We'll have you steal. We'll have you guard, and we'll have you use the fire staff on the Mandrake. That should deal enough damage. It's a little tricky right now to be getting like lots of job levels just because of the fact that Desh is around. So the trouble with guest characters in this one is that they can do things that make it hard for you to gain lots of job levels because they may just randomly decide, I'm just going to kill this specific enemy that you had your warrior or something attacking, you know? So it makes it a little more challenging to gain levels and stuff. Speaking of gain levels, we haven't gained enough to get to level 10, have we? Let's see. No, but we're almost there. Let's get to level 10 while we're not minied, because the thing about the next dungeon is you actually have to be minied as well. Oh, there's Canaan. Okay. Well, if we can figure out this whole mess with the Nepto Dragon, maybe we can get on the ship and get back to Canaan. Talk to Selena, let her know that her lover is just fine. Something like that. Hard to make Oracle have actual drawbacks. They can predict stuff, but it's just a roulette between all of the predictions. If you don't use one, however, within the timer, you get a false prediction, the false prediction dot, which ticks with a 50k potency. That's mean. Boy. That's really funny, though. Check that Spark Dagger out, why not? Do a little damage, maybe. I don't think this thing is weak to electricity, but... yeah, I was going to say, we should be able to take it out from where it is, because we did pretty good damage, so... Excuse me. I think that might be enough for everybody, but let's see. Yeah, it was enough for everybody to level. Good. It's fair, though. You can't just say something's going to happen and then nothing happens. Yeah, that's fair, actually. It's like, hey, so maybe instead of just making weird false... like, I mean, you think about false predictions that have happened in the real world, and most of the time those people just get stoned to death. They're like, I'm an oracle. I predict that this will happen. Oh, nothing's happening? Ah, crap. Okay, everybody's fully healed, so that's a good thing. Let's save out here. I think I saved right outside Vikings Cove as well, but we leveled up, so might as well save again. Alright, and in we go. I probably should have, now that I think about it, gotten the mythril rod for these sections where you have to be minied, but, yeah, that's okay. Anything new to say, Dash, before we go in? Nope. I think he has one more line of dialogue, but I think it might be exclusive to a certain area. So. Like I said before, the music in this game is pretty good, actually. So. Another good track we've got going on here. Wonder where the eye went. Oh, okay. So yeah, you have to do a full dungeon under Mini. That's just great. This is gonna be fun, isn't it? Alright, let's Mini ourselves. Why is the music in this game so good? Oh, they had to give you some reason to play it, right? No, but I actually genuinely do enjoy this game to, like, I don't want to say it's like it's definitely not my favorite. It's not even in my top 5, but it's probably like at least number 6 or 7 on the list, I would think. Somewhere in there. It's pretty fair in terms of where I have it. I think all the enemies in this area are the same as the enemies that are in the Tozu's tunnel, but I could be wrong about that, so. I'm gonna save the thunder spells for later. Let's just do Blizzard, I think. Because you're doing fire, so why not? See if we can do some damage. Oh, and don't be afraid to use the items that, like the Antarctic winds, if you really get into a pickle, because they deal some pretty good damage, even though they're limited use for right now, you know? Okay, so we know Refia can one-shot those things, but not quite Luneth. Okay, that's fine. We will, I guess, rely on Ruffia to get us through here, won't we? And then we'll just let Ingus do some healing as we need it. Wait, those are Lilliputans? Where's my blue magic spell? Which blue magic spell do they teach? I forget. Oh no, Lilliputan Lyric, that's it. Yeah, the one that, God, off the top of my head, it minis you, if I remember correctly. I don't remember what else it does, though. I think it does more than just minis you, though, doesn't it? I could be wrong about that. Alright, so we're going to try not to level up while we're in here. The enemies give good experience, but we're going to try not to. The next, like I said, the next boss is level 11, and that's at the end of this area, but we'll do the best we can. We'll just run through. If we end up a little under-leveled for now, that's fine. You know, no big deal. It's like 3 floors, so... Uh-oh, back attack! I'll be in the front row. Ow. It might be worth it to run at this point, actually. Hopefully Flea actually works. I'm gonna knock out one of these little Lilliputans, so that way, if it doesn't work, we at the very least have some recourse, you know? Or I'm gonna try to knock him out anyway. Nice to see the series reusing stuff. Yeah, I mean, you know, it just... They might as well use the tools that they have at their disposal, right? So, well, there goes my cure. Air Cure the Thief. If you want to get your turn before the mages, that would be nice. Damn it. Well, I guess we're stuck with this one. That's fine. Let's just do the whole song and dance we've been doing, shall we? And then do that and that. That way people can get Final Fantasy III PTSD from future games. Wah, wah. It's like, oh, you can't escape from me now. I feel like most people wouldn't remember Lilliputans from 3, though, because, like, they're in this just one random, well, 2 random obscure areas. Maybe if you're really not a big fan of Mini, I could see it being a problem, but I don't know. Alright, instead of wasting my time on cures, I'm just going to waste all these potions that we've got, because they will probably not be good going forward, because we're only going to get more HP at this point. So, might as well just use it up. Them up. I swear my brain's turning to Swiss cheese from all the work that I'm doing. I still don't feel like I'm fully rested, even today. Alright, Shell Helm and Shell Armor will probably be kind of nice. You only get 1 for right now, though, so 1 of each, that is, so. And we can't even see whether they're better. Well, okay, we can, because we can look at the defense down there, but, you know. So probably, who do I want to give this to? I guess I'll just give it all to Lunith, why not? Doesn't really give him anything particularly interesting. I guess the 15 magic defense is not bad, though. Make him a little tankier, though that might be worth it to give to Eric at some point. I think the shell armor is like one of the last heavy armors that the thief can equip. After that, it starts getting more light armors, which is what you would expect from a thief, so... Your brain is melting regularly, you keep doing things out of order. Yeah, I don't really know how I can solve the issue for myself specifically, or for you, and that for that matter, but like, hope it doesn't last too long, because, I mean, I need my brain to not be turning into Swiss cheese so I can go do my hospital rotations in the fall, so. It'll probably be fine, though, because, you know, once the fall comes around, I'll be, like, actually, oh look, a were-rat. Like, I'll have more space to kind of space out all of the stuff that I'm doing, so it won't be quite so difficult to do that. I hope, anyway. I feel like you'd do better if you could actually get a full night's sleep. Even now, you usually get between 3 and 6. Yeah, that's not really gonna help you then, for sure. And that's probably also my problem then, since I'm getting 6 at the most on the weekdays, so... Well, Ingus is poisoned, but we can take care of that in a little bit, so... Really? None of you could defeat either one of the enemies here? Come on, guys. We got better things to do here than sit here and try to deal with... I think I stole from that one already. Maybe. I don't remember. Yeah, let's just do advance again, steal from you, and then just do it again, I guess. This is probably because we're not quite level 11, honestly, that we're having slight difficulties with our damage. I have to heal 3 poisons after this. On days that you get less, your body revolts and you can't even stay out of bed long, literally have to call out because of how sick you feel. Yeah. Yeah, I could see that, honestly. You're really not meant to get only 3 hours of sleep unless you're planning on, like... I think if I remember right, they used to do that in the Roman Empire? There was, like, it's like ancient times we're talking. They would sleep for 4 hours at night, and then they would sleep for 4 hours in the afternoon. So, like, they'd sleep from maybe 12 to 4 and 12 to 4. So, I don't know how effective that is, but I don't know. I've never tried it, so I couldn't tell you. Alright, might as well use those up. We got a Serpent Sword as well, by the way. I don't think, yeah, Eric can equip that. Lunith can, so he could do Serpent Sword Viking Axe now if he wants for some big damage, but, you know, I'm okay without it, so. Oh, not for 3. 3's barely enough for you to function. You've gotten 2 on many occasions, though. Yeah, okay, yeah, I could see that being a bit of a problem then, yeah. 2 hours sleep is no good, that's for certain. Excuse me. The was not from food that I just, that just caused me to burp. It was from the monster, the large rat that happens to be ahead of us. The giant rat. I don't know what I'm referencing by saying that, but I am making a reference. Just don't know what it is. Remember how they say to listen to your body? Yeah, that would be nice to do. At times. Looks like he's holding on to the Nepto Eye. But your shiny is valuable. And I have a thief. But that little sleepy body says, no! And makes you sick. Yeah, I could see that being a bit of a problem. So, alright, well, same thing as usual. I'm actually going to have Lunith just use regular attack because advancing, now that I think about it, I didn't think about this before, but advancing while we're mini is literally only making me have even lower defense than I would have because it gives you a percentage debuff to your defense. So I'll try blind. I don't think it's going to work, but hey, you never know. Oh, yeah, okay. And you can't even use mini in battle, so that's not good. Well, I guess we'll just do the cure. Well, yeah, we'll just do a cure all preemptively. Probably Ingus will get his turn before the giant rat does, and then that won't be good, but you know. Okay, well, remind me to never use that again. Wait, it speaks? Yes, it does. So, the usual thing that happens in Final Fantasy III in the early game is you tell your white mage to cast a spell on the boss. Right. The boss goes after your white mage, then the boss goes before your white mage on the next turn, and your whatever you were fighting, or whoever they attack ends up being dead. Which is just not really particularly good. Actually, you know what I'm going to have Eric do? I'm going to have you throwing out potions, because I need Ingus to do damage, because he's one of my 2 mages, so let's let him do the damage. Don't remember how much HP this thing has, but it can't be that much. It's probably like 700-800 somewhere in there. It'll be more than the Jinn had, but probably not too much more. Eric, you're the slowest thief ever. It's not particularly fast. I would expect him to be, considering, but apparently not. Alright, I might need a little bit of help with this one, just because that blizzard did 83. Let's do a cure-all. Oh look, he went first. He heard us. He heard us talking about him. He said, "Heard you're talking shit." So it'd be nice if we had access to even 1 Fyra, you know what I mean? Because that would do massive damage at this point, but we do not. Maybe at level 11 we would, but at this level we do not. Okay, well, we're all topped off now. That at least is nice. Ow. I shouldn't have said anything. Why does a rat know how to cast fire and blizzard spells? Like, how does that even happen? Alright, well, keep damaging him as best we can. I'm gonna gamble on using a fire staff here. Angus might go down, but we have some more Phoenix Downs from all the ones we've been picking up, so I'm okay with that. Please be party-wide, because that actually splits the damage nice and evenly. It's a little bit of a problem, but I guess it could be even more of a problem considering Angus could have gotten hit there and probably gone down. Or just about, anyway. But you know why you were struggling? You're probably only level 7 or 8 when you got here. Yeah, I could see that being a bit of a problem then. Yeah, because 7 or 8 for this boss is a little bit under-leveled. I'm using an Angus, actually. Because if he goes down, we're going to have a few problems, so... Go for it, Dash! Because Dash has access to Thundara at this point, which will deal massive, well, maybe not massive, but more damage than I can inflict on this thing, that's for sure. Well, he's still kicking. Probably not for too much longer, but he is still kicking. Okay, we got our heals off before the rat went, so that's a nice thing as well. Just hope Luna survives the turn and we'll be okay. It is nice that we're going before the rat as well. I will say that, because sometimes that doesn't happen. Okay, we lived. Barely, but we lived. Toss another potion Refi his way in this case, get some fire going, and then I'm gonna use Cure again. A Cure-All. I'm kind of hoping every time I cast a spell that it just blows him up, but it did not, so. Got our heals off again. Good. I mean, at the very least, we're getting our turns first, you know, which makes it a little easier. Oh, and he has Thunder as well. Okay, that's a problem. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That's going to deal some really solid damage for him. More so than I can probably heal off reliably. But that's okay, we can just do a double up on healing Luna this turn. Resources will eventually run out here, though, so hopefully this ends soon. Come on now. How much HP could he possibly have? But we're keeping pace, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like we're ending the turn with double-digit HP. Or rather, you know, having him attack when we have double-digit HP for the most part. We've been mostly staying ahead of it enough to not have to worry about it too much. Do I... Maybe I have Luna throw a potion as well, actually. I know I've been saying, well, have him attack anyway, but maybe I have him and Eric throw potions at Eric. And then I have my mages cast, because that'll probably deal more damage, which... The more damage we deal, the faster this goes, so... There we go. Got him. There's no unique animation for a casting, like a spell casting victory. So like, where we do the pullback with the bow, or the spin around with the knives and stuff like that. So, yeah, Lunith in this boss. I'm helping! Something like that. And we still didn't get a level up. Good. Awesome. Because I would not want to level up with 1 vitality. Again, I don't actually know if that affects anything. It might only be based on your, like, actual vitality, but I don't know. And I don't want to try to find out. But there's the Nepto Eye that we need to put into the statue. Unfortunately, if I remember correctly, now you have to walk all the way back out. However... they recognize that that might be a bit of a problem, and they give you a full party heal when that happens. So that, at the very least, is nice. The walk all the way back out is not, but, well, we don't have to worry about being, like, bruised and beaten in the process, so... And we can try to run away from things while we're at it, you know, because why not? Because I don't particularly want to actually kill these things. You know, that would not be something that I'd want. But let's, like, thin the numbers out at least, if, you know, we have to. Again, I was told that Flea is nearly guaranteed Flea, like, actual running escape rate, but apparently I'm mistaken by that. I'm gonna look that up real quick, hang on. Oh wow, you hit one shot with fire now. Okay, cool. Final Fantasy 3 Flea. The Flea command. Okay. It has a 100% success rate in the NES version. Thanks. So they evidently nerfed the success rate in the 3D version. Thanks, game. That's great. I think I'll get too much experience if I actually, like, beat this guy, so let's just get out of here. If we can. I'm foregoing job levels by leaving like this, but... you know, it's probably okay. Again, I just don't want to level up with all that happening. I was gonna say, unless Desh just kills this guy for me, which is problematic, but, you know, it'll happen. We'll have to just see what our levels end up being in terms of the HP that we gain, so... Actually, I think, if I remember correctly, yeah, because Desh went before our guards went off, didn't he? So that means that guest characters have increased priority as well. Alright, using up our potions. We'll have to buy some more antidotes when we get out of here, but that's fine. I mean, I guess I could use... we have Poisona, so I guess I could use that. We have a bunch of level 1 MP, but... you know, it's okay. I don't mind being a little silly, a little goofy with my MP. Saving it exclusively for cure spells. Definitely seems a little suspect. But this isn't a spring, is it? No, it's just aesthetic. Fair enough. You know, we almost made it out without actually, like... oh, these enemies are exclusive to this area, aren't they? You know what we can do is we can... hopefully flee, for one thing. For another thing, we can level up outside, and then we can come back and fight these things, so... because I was gonna say, we're almost to the stairs, and we got all the treasure in here, so... alright, so, now... let's, I can use mini twice. So... let's just take care of this Nepto Dragon thing first. Like, put the eye back in. And then go from there. Can't believe they nerfed Flea, that's nutty. Yeah, I don't know what the thought process was there, honestly, but... maybe it's, like, related to job level. Maybe it's a higher chance than actually, like, using the run command, but it's not guaranteed, and as your job level goes up, it makes it more guaranteed. I don't know. Oh, okay. I'm assuming you're the Nepto Dragon, then. Yeah. No problem. I can't imagine what it must have been like running around without an eyeball. Oh. Okay, yeah, that would have been a bit of a problem if we had actually gone out on the high seas. He literally kills your entire party if you go out on the high seas. I don't remember if he uses... I think there's, like, he uses Tidal Wave, or he just hits you with physicals until you die, something like that. But he just basically kills you if you go out on the world map, so... like, on the boat, and then you try to leave the peninsula, he'll just run into him. You're guaranteed to run into him, and he'll just kill you, so... okay. Thanks for not killing us. Oh. What do you mean someone created an earthquake? So it wasn't an accident then, huh? Oh, okay. So the Fang of Water is not the Crystal of Water, but it will allow you to do something later in the game. It also helps the Nepto Dragon go back to sleep, which is nice for him, and that also is nice for me, because that means we can actually leave the peninsula now. Perfect. So let's go outside, level up, then maybe we'll go back in and we'll try to find those enemies, because... well, I'm not really looking to have 100% bestiary, honestly, so I guess I could always just go back later, like off-screen, and look for them. So, Dash, anything new to say about our accomplishment? It's so hard that you die in one hit, but that damn rat, yeah, I know. We are still trying to figure out what that means as well. I don't know, let's ask the crystal. Wonder what that's all about. Wonder why his blood was boiling. Oh, somebody moved the ship over, so you can't just take it without talking to the Viking boss. Alright, fair enough. And we get triumphant music in the Vikings Cove now for having, well, defeated, quote-unquote, the Nepto Dragon. Yeah, 'tweren't nothing there, sir. Thanks. So we now have a new ship, the Enterprise. Does that mean we can go out into space, the final frontier? No, not quite, but I can still fire this cannon. But it does mean we can travel out on the high seas to our next adventure. So that's cruel. Can't just take the ship after resolving the Nepto Dragon issue, but they leave it within an arm's reach, so you can get one-shotted. Well, since you can't take it, you can't get one-shotted by the dragon because, well, okay, so you can't get one-shotted by the dragon once you resolve Nepto Dragon's issues because the Nepto Dragon is sleeping now, but, yeah. So you wouldn't really get one-shotted by this point because you'd be, the Nepto Dragon is back asleep, basically. I'm just gonna double check. I don't think there's anything new to talk to these people about other than, like, you know, thank you for doing what you did, that sort of stuff. So there is a reward in one of the later areas that you go to where you can get some new items that you couldn't access in the area before, but alright, one last cannon shot. And then we'll head back to Kazus, because we can actually go back to all the towns that we were at before. So we can go back to we can go back to Kazus, we can go back to Canaan now, because we can travel on the high seas. I get big Super Mario RPG vibes out of that music, but unfortunately we didn't get to hear the whole thing because, well, we, you know, we got into a battle before we could hear the whole thing, so, yeah, why don't you just guard Angus? We've actually, the tables have turned here and you're no longer quite as good as you were because Eric can actually deal damage with the Spark Dagger now. Thunder, if I remember correctly, deals pretty good damage to these guys. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty good. And Lunith should be able to clean up. Okay, maybe not. So, we should have had you doing an actual, like, something with the fire staff. Should be enough, I think. Oh, not at this point before you resolve the problem. Basically, leave the ship close enough to board and use it, but then the Nepto Dragon eats you. Yeah. Well, yeah, so if you try to go to the ship before you get the eye for the Nepto Dragon, you can actually board the ship and use it and then try to head out of the peninsula, but then the Nepto Dragon kills you. If you resolve the issue with the Nepto Dragon, they move the ship away from the peninsula so you can't just, you know, jump on it before you talk to the boss. The Nepto Dragon at that point is no longer available. Once you talk to the boss, then the Nepto Dragon is no longer available, and you can get the ship, so. And also, we've gained our levels, so now if we have to mini ourselves, we don't have to worry about that again, so. Cool. Oh, and we got a Bacchus's Cider out of those guys. That casts haste on a party member, so. I was talking about haste a little earlier, so that's kind of nice. Well, let's go see Selena, so that Desh can, you know, tell her that he has someplace to be, I guess. I don't think he wanted to do that. Maybe we can also tell Sid that we, whatchamacallit, have a ship, but we don't. Well, you know what? He probably can't do anything with the ship anyway, because we need to talk to the king of the Argus Castle, so. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, not much dialogue, just a little bit, so. Can he promise that, though? What if what he has to do takes him really far away? Yeah, once you resolve the issue, the ship is suddenly so far away you can't board it. They must have, like, cut its ropes or something and let it drift out to sea just a smidgen. Something like that, I don't know. Let's just check. Yeah, so Sid doesn't have anything new to say, so. That's fine, though. And the other place we have to go is Kazus, because, again, if I remember correctly, I just didn't talk to Taka after we resolved the whole issue with the town, so... Since I didn't, his Mognet letters are not available, and if I remember correctly, most of the early Mognet letters need to be read in order for you to, like, actually get anything out of it. Matter of fact, let me scroll my notes down and see what I'm missing. Oh, okay. Yeah, so let's go talk to Taka, because I think his message is one of the main ones that I've been missing so far. So he is up here. I could have sworn I talked to Taka, though, because he's the one that's... Oh, no, never mind. I thought he was the one that's busy, but no, he's not. Yes, sir, we'll bring her home safe. And I think if I've... Now that we've talked to him, he should show up on the Mognet menu. There's also going to be one from, I think, Princess Sarah in here now. Although I may have to leave town in order for it to show up. Yeah, okay. Huh. Yeah, again, because my notes say that they're supposed to have sent messages by now, but apparently they haven't. Maybe I have to go to Canaan in order to get that to happen. Well, let's go see. Because my notes say, in Canaan, Taka will have a letter for you. But I could be wrong about that. Vaguely remember a playthrough you saw of this where someone used the ultimate job as the only job. That is a good way to nerf the hell out of your HP. Because your HP gain at each level up is based on your vitality stat, and the ultimate job, the vitality stat is really low until you get to about level 90 when it skyrockets. So, yeah, that wouldn't be so good. Yeah, I don't know what this is all about, because I've gotten these letters before on another playthrough. I mean, I guess it's... Is it fine? Well, actually, let me think about that. Is it fine if we don't get the letters? I don't remember. Because if you don't get the letters, you miss out on a few things, including the job that Marie's talking about there. And also, the legendary smith later on in the game is unavailable, which means you can't get the level 99, job level 99 stuff. Like, there's equipment that you can get later. But, I mean, I guess none of it was stuff that I was explicitly going to be using, but I don't know, it would probably be useful. Yeah, I can imagine they struggled to the last sequence of events, because that's, yeah, definitely a good way to... A good way to nerf yourself. So. There we go, that's the part that gives me Mario RPG vibes right there. Almost Skies of Arcadia vibes, too, actually. I know I'm going to get into an encounter if I keep going, so that's why I'm just kind of hanging out here for now. Well, this looks like a new town. Let's park the ship in this peninsula and take a look at what's in here. It's a town with the spooky music. What do you mean? This place is a little weird. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this, but maybe I'll check and see if there's any, like, bugs or glitches that have to do with, whatchamacallit, Mognet. Because you never know, maybe. Oh. A moving giant tree, huh? Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe they'll be able to point me to my next destination, because I don't know where to go at this point. So it sounds like this Village of the Ancients is the next place we need to go. Alright. I'll keep that in mind. I think there's an item in this area as well, but I don't remember where it is. Well, let's check the houses that actually have doors on them first. Oh. Maybe we'll have to go talk to them as well. No items here. Man, everybody in this town's running away from me. Wonder what the problem is. Hi, you guys okay in here? That's not what we're up to here, ma'am. Who are they that you're talking about? Oh. Well, that's not good. Why would the guards from Castle Argus have any, like, want to be kidnapping people, for one, and two, why would they want to be taking people into the desert? Like, what would they have in the desert? All they have in there is the giant tree. And I don't even know that that belongs to the people of Castle Argus. The mystery deepens. But yeah, not too many, oh, there it is, okay, a great bow. I could swear there's an ice staff here, too, somewhere, but I could be wrong about that. And there's more Bacchus's cider. I'm just gonna check all the little barrels and boxes and stuff. Excuse me, since it seems like that's where the items seem to be. Because I can't zoom in. Oh, I can zoom in. Never mind. There we go. I was like, I'm pressing the wrong button. That's the problem. I was pressing the R button thinking that would be to zoom in, but that is not the one to zoom in. I think that Lamia scale casts the Confuse spell, if I remember correctly. So. Nothing in the well. I wish it would stay zoomed in, though, because, like, I know why it's zooming out, because I'm hitting near a boundary, but, nah, okay, there we go. That's the ice staff, okay. So that was really the only one that I was looking for, honestly. Nope. And then this house has a door. Anything in the pots? Oops. Nothing in there. Checking these things like a hypochondriac. Oh. Okay, I'll see what I can do. Oops. There we go. Hang on. Oh, okay. It was just me getting stuck on her dialogue box. Okay. I thought there was like a secret there or something. Yeah, we heard about it. Well, that's not good. I did, in fact, just speak with him, and I don't know what to do about that, but I will see what I can do about the desert, I guess. Another serpent sword. A Kenpogi. Sonic Knuckles. So I guess any monks that you've got will probably appreciate a couple of things from here. Although the Kenpogi, I think, could be equipped by Eric as well. No, it can't. Okay, well, it can't be equipped by you either. And it can't be equipped by you either. So I guess it would be nice to have access to, like, you know, something else armor-wise, but apparently that's a monk-only thing. And I won't be using monk, so. Alright, so it sounds like the first thing we should go do. As a matter of fact, you know what? I'm thinking about this. Since I was thinking about doing this off-screen, but let's take a look and see what the triggers are for... Oops. Mognet on PSP. It says the letters unlock at certain points in the story. That does not help me. Let's see. In the mobile PSP and PC versions, Refia must be the party leader to receive any letter from Taka after the first. That's bizarre. But I haven't even received the first one. Oh, you know, probably that's why, though, right? Because, since I don't have Refia or Angus as party leaders, it's probably why it isn't popping up. So maybe let's try that. Let's switch them around and then see what happens. So, if I do this, and then I ask the Moogle, will it change the outcome? We should be getting a letter from Sid soon as well, actually. I think in the Village of the Ancients is the first place he gives you a letter. Yeah, okay, there we go. So you needed to have Refia be the party leader in order for Taka's to show up, so... Anyway, his first letter is Raffia. Are you doing all right, Raffia? Remember to come straight home once you've completed this journey of yours. There's much work for you to do. From Taka. Is that all he can think about? And also, there's another letter now because we've caught up, basically. So, since we've caught up, let me erase the ones that we've caught up to on the my notes. So, there we go. Taka's first two. And Princess Sarah's should be available in a sec once I have Angus being party leader. Sid's will be done in a sec as well. Okay, there we go. Sorry, just want to keep my notes correct. So anyway, his second letter, Kazus. Kazus has recovered from that gin fiasco. You should come visit when you have the time, because there's always more work to do. Alright, now do I just, like, make Angus party leader now in town and that'll just fix the whole problem? Or, let's see. Yep, okay, awesome. So now we should have access to any letter that they have, so... First letter from Princess Sarah is, Hello, Angus. Angus, everyone, how are you doing? Father and I are both fine, as well as the rest of the people in the castle. Stop by to say hi if you have time. From Sarah. And that's the only one that she gives you for right now. Eventually there will be another one that comes up. But the one from Taka, we won't have access to another one from him for a little while. Elder Topapa actually will send us a letter when we get to the Village of the Ancients too, so... Since I already erased Sid's, let's erase his as well, so... But I'm lazy and I don't want to change who's the party leader. Well, thankfully, if I remember correctly, the only ones that you have to change for are Taka, you have to switch to Raffia, Princess Sarah, you have to switch to Angus, and then there is one for Eric as well later. So, like, the one from Elder Topapa is because Lunith was the party leader. Eric needs to be the party leader for one later on in the game, but that's not for a little while yet, so... And actually, Eric being party leader will be something that happens later on anyway, because, well, when Eric becomes party leader, Thief has a unique interaction with doors, which I don't think that's a shock, because he's a thief, so of course he will be able to do some things with doors that other characters would not have access to. So, we can't heal in Tokul, unfortunately, there, so I guess we'll just, save, and then we'll hoof it over to the Village of the Ancients for now, since, you know, we don't have access to anything else at the moment. Let me also check, because there should be a thunder staff, lightning staff, something like that somewhere. So I'm going to check where that is in case. I don't want to have missed it, basically. That's not the right staff. Light staff, that's it. Excuse you, Final Fantasy Wiki. I'm asking for something else. Oh, okay. So yeah, you can't actually find the light staff anywhere, unfortunately. Although I should probably equip one of them, because if you equip one of them, it gives +2 intellect and mind, which means Angus can probably now equip one and then actually one-shot stuff with the other one. So, I guess I'll put the fire staff. You can also equip both staves, and that'll give both of the intellect and mind increases, but of course the problem is we don't have, you know, any staves in our inventory now, and I'm not sure if we can do that and still, like, cast from them, but probably, so we'll give it a shot, why not? And then for Raffia, actually, it might honestly at this point be better to have Raffia take off the great bow, because we don't really need her to have the bow anymore since Lunith's got it. It might be better for her to just have 2 mithril rods, because that gives her an intellect boost. And the intellect boost will mean that she will be able to cast her spells better. They'll deal more damage. So, with that in mind, I think I'm going to do that, actually. Let's take off the bow from her. Bows from her, I should say. Actually, now that I think about it, it might have been better to just have her be a red mage to begin with, because then, as a red mage, she would have been able to equip or use stabs, but whatever, it's fine. Lunat's got 72 iron arrows that he can work with now, so that should be pretty good. And then let's go get her a couple of mithril rods and sell all this extra stuff that we don't need. I think if I remember right, the mithril rods were available in Canaan. So let's go there. Might be available in the Village of the Ancients as well, but we got to get there first, so... Of course, we also have to get to Canaan, but that shouldn't be too big of a deal. We'll have wandering around here. Alright, so, this and that. Let's do this Thunder Spell real quick, and then can you use these up here? Yes, you can while you have them equipped. Perfect. Much easier than it would have been otherwise. Also, Desh might be, casting Thundara, which will just probably kill both of these things in one go. Thanks, Desh. It's not like I wanted job levels. No, it's fine. Eventually, Desh will find the thing that he needs to do, and he'll leave the party, so that way we can then be getting job levels again. So it's not a huge deal, you know. Might as well do that since I didn't get a chance to do it in battle. It is good, though, that we have access to Cura, exactly one Cura, because that'll mean that when we get into a boss fight, we'll have access to one gigantic party heal in case things really go to crap, you know? Now, you guys may think that this back attack gives you an advantage, but first of all, we have, well, I was going to say a Thunder Spell, but we don't because we don't have MP for it. Oh, no, we do. Never mind, because Desh did the last battle for us. But also, Eric is now in the front row, so his Spark Dagger is going to do some good damage. Ow. Never mind. I am strongly considering resetting right now, actually, because now Ingus is going to be even further behind than he was a second ago by the factor of a few hundred experience points. Because we just saved after Tokul, didn't we? I was saying, oh, let's just go back to Canaan. Alright, how far behind is he now? 681, 860. It's not gonna kill him, honestly. It is annoying, though. They're all attacking the healer like everybody was attacking my Espeon in Pokemon Coliseum, which is just as annoying as it was there, quite honestly. Alright, anyway. Back to Canaan. I find it easier to just kind of run the boat aground into like a corner of the map like that, because it's just simpler to dock it. Because you kind of have to push against the ground a little bit in order for it to actually dock. So it probably would have been easier if you could just like press the X button or something to ground yourself, but no, they won't let you do that. So. 2 mithril rods, please. I want to zap things with the most damage possible. Okay, you have 2 mithril rods. Your intellect should now be at 14 on intellect with that, and Ingus, because he's got those 2 staves equipped, has 15 intellect. So, yeah, we should do some good magic damage now. Sorry, I wasn't even thinking about that before. I was like, you know, maybe now that I've got access to some good spells, it might be better to, like, actually use them effectively. Okay, but anyway, let's rest at the inn since we are here. We might as well. And then we'll head to the village. Well, actually, you know what I should do as well is I should buy some items while I'm here, too, because it can't hurt, right? That. And that. And there we go. Okay, well, we haven't had to use any gold needles yet, so that's a good thing. And you know what? I can actually purchase White Slayers in the Village of the Ancients, so let's just get rid of that, too. I could get rid of this Lamia scale, because I don't really see it being useful for anything other than money, so... It's not like the Antarctic Winds where I actually will use it for something, you know, later on. Sell both of these, because I should... Let me think. No, I shouldn't need either of these for any reason. Don't need the extra great bows. I'll hold on to holy arrows. Won't need these sonic knuckles or the spiking axe. And then this is all extra equipment that I won't need. And sell that too. Keep the holy arrows, keep the Bacchus' cider, and suddenly we have a million gil that we don't know what to do with. It's okay though, because when we get to the Village of the Ancients, we'll probably find something to do with it. Alright. Now, the only trouble with when characters get a little behind because they get knocked out in battle, though, is that, like Angus just did, is that there's really no way to get them un-behind, like get them back to where they were, because there's no, like, experience boosting equipment you can give them or something like that, unlike other games in the series, like Final Fantasy XII. Although I think there's only, like, 1 or 2 guaranteed embroidered tippets in 12, which is the experience boosting accessory. Excuse me, but that's okay. 200 experience is not going to be a big deal in the long run, honestly. He'll get these levels no matter what. It's just he'll get them slightly slower for the next couple of levels, and then after that point we start getting 200 experience or more from every fight. We'll, yeah, he'll be good to go then. So, I guess use the fire staff. We shouldn't. I don't think we'll be KOing with just Eric and Luna, so. Although if you go first, we definitely will be. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. I'm glad we didn't die from that battle. That would have just been embarrassing. Alright, let's go see if we can find this. Whoa. Is that what they meant by moving tree? It looks like a low poly tornado. Whoa. These guys look like goblin upgrades. Knockers. Sounds vulgar. Anyway. We have 3 thunder spells. I'll just use a basic fire, honestly. I feel like that should do enough damage. I'm gonna let Angus try to do this one himself. I don't know if he can, but, well, worth a shot, right? Maybe with Dash's help, he'll be able to get it. Attack that one on the left, Dash. Thank you. I was about to say, damn it, Dash, because I expected that to do the exact opposite of what I wanted, but hey, it worked out, so. If I remember correctly, later on, once we get some thief job levels, these knockers have something good that you can steal. Then again, most enemies, once you have higher thief job levels, have something nice for you to steal. So, actually, let me check what that job level is while I've got my phone here. Sorry, let me try that without, like, losing my voice. I've got my phone here, so, like, and I don't have to pull chat up on my phone, so it makes it a little easier for me to actually, like, check stuff, you know. Okay, so in order to get the tier 2 items, we have to be at job level 31 or higher, which is quite a ways away at the moment, but I'm not too worried about that because it will be something we'll be able to access not too long from now, so. Good night, you're dying. Okay, don't die, Marie. Go get some sleep. I mean, I know we said sleep is death practice earlier, but go get some sleep. Have a good night. We'll see you on the next one. In the meantime, we'll head further west towards the Village of the Ancients. I think it's one of these peninsulas turns into it. I should just use that gnomish bread, honestly. Oh, more griffins. Okay. Maybe I should use up those holy arrows. No, they're useful for something later, so I'm not going to use them up just yet. So, let's see. Advanced, steel, blizzard, and you do this. See if that works. Okay, not quite, but that's okay. We got a preemptive strike anyway, so that should make this a little easier. If Refia one-shots that griffin with this... Not quite, okay. But it doesn't look like we'll need an advance to actually kill any of the griffins, because, you know... Although we could kill a griffin with advance according to the damage that we just did, and then just let Refia and Angus handle the other one with their damage, so... Yeah, because that dealt massive damage. So. Okay. One thing I should also mention, by the way, since I'm thinking about job levels, is that the job level of your mages actually helps determine the damage that they'll deal with their spells. So because Refia and Angus are at a slightly higher job level, the more their job level increases, the more damage they'll deal with their spells. That's kind of the same for most other jobs, except for one. There's one job where the actual job level doesn't affect the damage of specific things that they do, but we'll talk about that when we actually get that job. Right now we don't have access to it, so I won't worry about it. Alright, so let's initiate the plan that I just said, where we have Refia do this, we'll have Angus do this. Rapid heating and cooling. That would actually be, now that I think about it, like a really good name for an HVAC company. Rapid heating and cooling. I wonder if anybody's done that yet. If not, I may be onto something here. Not that I know how to install any HVAC stuff. I only picked up on the... Well, okay, I guess I installed, you know, with help, I installed my own air conditioner, but that's about it. So... Ah, the Toy Box Village. God, this game's music is so good, man. Your curiosity about what? Yeah, there is that. Is there anything to the side here? No, okay. This village has multiple levels, and there is new stuff on each level, if I remember correctly, but I could be wrong about that, so... There is stuff to find as well. Again, if I recall correctly. Not there, though. Well, again, my thingamajigger said that we'd get a message from Sid, for one. For another, we'd get a message from Elder Topapa, but apparently not. I wonder if changing party leaders will make any difference here. Not there. You telling me I'm gonna have to rewrite things into my notes? I don't like erasing things and having to rewrite them in my notes. Come on, game. It's fine. I mean, I will do it, obviously. Like, I'm not gonna leave my notes incomplete, obviously, but, like... Okay, yeah, there's just nothing. It might just be a story event thing, though, because maybe in my notes I didn't go to the Village of the Ancients until after the next major story event. That doesn't seem likely, though, because I usually go here pretty quickly. Because the stuff that you can get here is pretty good, so... Oh? Wonder where we can find a chocobo. I'll have to take a look around. Is it here? No. I could have sworn there's, like, something that you can find. Oh, okay. So I'm guessing right now, yeah, I was gonna say it's tilted towards darkness. Got it. Well, that explains our job then, I suppose. Nope, nothing that way. There's a weapon shop here, though, and if I recall correctly, this weapon shop lets you purchase stabs. Yes, yes it does. Now you can purchase fire, ice, and light stabs. You can also get killer bows, and more importantly, elemental arrows. Oh, baby, these are the good stuff. Really, honestly, it's mostly lightning or light arrows, but fire and ice arrows equally will have a pretty good impact on everything that we do. The stabs are a little expensive at this point, but having access to one of each will help us, because then we can have Angus cast any of the basic black magic spells with a halfway decent intelligence stat. Also, the killer bow is probably well worth the money that we're going to use here, so... Yeah, remember all that money I said we had? Well, it's mostly gone now. Because I'm going to buy 20 of each of these for right now. And there goes the vast majority of my money, but that's okay. It's why we have it, so might as well use it for something, you know? Alright, get the killer bow going. Now, unfortunately, those elemental arrows cannot be used by warrior, which is a little bit of a shame, but they will be able to be used later on once we get a different, access to a different class, so a different job, actually, is what it should be saying. Of course, the problem now that I'm thinking about it is that buying all those elemental arrows means that probably I won't have the ability to purchase, like, armor from here, and I think there's mage robes available for purchase here, so that would be not a good thing, but, you know, it's probably fine. We can always get a little extra money from other places. I was gonna say, I know you have a unique line in this village, Dash. Maybe this is where he was originally from. A loft? Like, in the air? That would explain why there were so many clouds to the west of the village just now that I did not acknowledge. But when we go back on the world map, I'll show you what he means. So. There's also a bunch of high-level magic available here, but we currently don't really have very much level 3 slots, so, like, spell charges. So. Oh. Yeah, I was gonna say, so it's just gone in the opposite direction now. Got it. Well, let's see the magic that I don't have the money to be able to afford. Other than Sight, which we can now buy. It's the last level 1 white magic spell, so might as well buy that. We can get Blizzara, Thundara, Teleport, and Blindna from here. We just can't get the other level 2 white magic spell, but that means we need, let's see. So 3,000, 6,000, because we got the other stuff. So we need 6,000 gil to get those, and then whatever we need to get the armors that we are missing. That's fine. Alright. So now we don't need the gnomish bread, so I'll use up that last loaf that we have in just a second. Although I guess I could sell that for some money if I really need the money. Wonder what rule they're talking about. I don't think they ever say what rule. Oh, there is an item in this town down there. Okay, let's go see if we can grab whatever it is. Down here. Another serpent sword. Alright, fair enough. Oh, okay. So I'm gonna guess that this Tower of Owen then is probably, like, pretty important since it's the pillar that's upholding this continent. Also, if the NPCs are talking about it, it's probably where I need to go next. So, oh, we can get some good stuff here. Looks like pretty much everything, including mallets, which we can use to mimic the mini spell. Also high potions, but they're a little expensive at this moment. So, well, basically, if you can't afford it right now while you're here, this is one of the 2 highest level shops that we have access to for right now, and it will be for some time. So don't worry about it if you can't buy it now. You'll be able to buy it later, so. I'll go see if I can find them. Oh, you can buy shell armor here for Eric to equip. You can also buy a flame mail for Lunith, which might not be a bad thing to have. If I remember right, that has resistance to fire, but I could be wrong about that. Headband and Kempo-gi are your monk items, and then you've got the mage robe here, which we need to get 2 of, because Reffi and Ingus need that. So let's see, we need 10,000 gil, 2,400 is 12,400, and then 1,250 from there is 13,650 gil. Okay, fair enough. Let's sell the couple of little things that I have that I can sell, and then we can go from there. Yeah, I'll sell the gnomish bread, because we need that little bit of extra cash at this point. So, sell the great bow. Sell the serpent sword. I got 2,000, so now we can buy 1 mage robe. I'll buy the shell armor for Eric, actually, instead. So that way he's at least up to snuff with where Lunith is. Usually money isn't too big of a deal in this game. It's just early in the game money is a little bit of an issue, but it's fine. Not going to be a huge deal for us to get that extra cash together. Now, that kid challenged us to ride around, or rather walk around the world, all the way around the world. Let's go just make sure I'm getting that correct. Hold on. But that doesn't preclude us from walking around the world on a chocobo. Yeah, okay, there you go. As a matter of fact, he wants you to run around the edge of the continent on a chocobo, so it's probably worth our time to go ahead and do that. So let's see if we can get a chocobo, first of all, and second of all, wander around the edge of the world. See what the prize he'll give us is. So in the middle of this forest, the eye of the forest, is another forest, the Chocobo Woods. And you can just grab a chocobo from in here, take it out on the world map, and now you're on Chocobo back. I'm just gonna follow like the actual outer line of the continent. As it turns out, this continent, as that guy in the village said, is floating. Quite literally a floating continent. So I don't think I have to follow the exact outer line here, but I'm going to do it anyway, just so that way the kid doesn't have a problem with me. I may also, I'm trying to think if the enemies on the world map here, or if the enemies on the sea give more experience. I don't quite know. I guess we could do a little check, like I could go on the sea and see, and well, take a look and see if they give more. And also just go and fight these ones and see. My thought process maybe is that I could just like walk around the edge of the world on foot, because the enemies that we can access on the world map right now are the same as the ones that we could fight in the desert on the way out of Tokol, so it shouldn't be too hard for us to take them down. Enemies on the sea might be a little trickier, but they're all weak to thunder, so like that won't be a huge deal, you know. Alright, there we go. Press the circle button, you can get rid of the chocobo. See if the kid gives me my, whatchamacallit. Gives me my prize for running around the map. Incredible, he says. And good work. Thanks, kid. And he'll give you a gnomish bread for doing it, which seems a little silly because we can literally now cast the sight spell, but I don't know, whatever. It's all good. And nothing new for now. Alright. Maybe, you know what we may have to do is we may have to go to, like, Castle Argus or something in order for us to get the new letters from Elder Topapa. I don't know. I do know where the next letters are available from them, though. So, it's not really a huge deal. Let's walk around the map here real quick. It's going to seem a little silly, but it will get us a couple of job levels that we don't have right now, and, I mean, like I said, we should be able to handle the enemies without too much of a problem, so... there won't be any enemies that are... Well, there will be enemies that are new to us, but there will not be any enemies that are... excuse me, too difficult to deal with while we're wandering around. Plus, it'll let us get some stuff for our bestiary, so... Alright, I think these ones are weak to ice, these flyers. I could be wrong about that. So, should just guard... Nah, we'll have you cast Blizzard, actually. Lyneth can handle that one himself, so you use the ice staff on these ones. I could be misremembering that, though. These could be not weak to ice, and I'm just thinking about them as if they were, those, whatchamajiggies from, Final Fantasy II, the ones that use Osmos on you. No, that looks pretty strong anyway. Parasites, that's it. But yeah, they give pretty good experience. It's really just the griffins that don't give good experience, I think, and, I mean, it's also good gil as well. Incidentally, I turned off my AC a little bit ago. Let me go turn it back on, because it's getting a little warm in here now. It's cooler outside, but it's not, like, cooler to the point where we can just... Well, actually, my phone says it's still 75, so maybe it's not cooler outside. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, these guys look a little tricky. Baramets. I don't know if I've encountered... I probably have encountered them, but I don't remember them, that's for sure, so... Probably weak to fire again, though. Let's do some damage with the fire spell. Yeah, definitely we can fire. So probably if I want to gain job levels, then I'm going to need to have, like... Well, Eric can't guard, so that's a problem in and of itself, but, you know. And we'll slowly gain up some gil while we're at it. We'll just see how much gil we have once we wrap back around the thing. Although, you know, there's probably some... I'm just going to look at this real quick, because I don't remember what's in Castle Argus. But there might be some gil in a treasure chest there, you know, that we could use to help buy all this stuff. Castle Argus has some money, for sure, actually. Although, do I have access to it right now? Yeah, probably, actually. The only things that I don't have access to is there's a couple of elixirs and an actual key item that I may or may not have access to. So maybe it's worth it to go visit Castle Argus, which is to the north of Tokul, northwest of Tokul, so it might be more worth it to go do that than what I'm currently doing, actually, now that I think about it. But, yeah, and you know what? We've got like 25 minutes left before we do this stuff, so I think we'll go do that. There's a couple of extra enemies, but I think we've found all of the new ones that we can find on this part of the world map. Like, basically around the outer edge, these are all the enemies we could find, so... you know what? Let's do this. No, I really should have you advancing no matter what. And then maybe have you guys do this, so you don't use your MP up, and then you use the fire staff on that one, and we'll see if that works. It'll definitely work with Desh doing this, so... because that'll soften them up. Ow. And then Lunith can take out one, and Ingus can take out the other. Although it looks to me like Refia and Ingus are going to be the main ones that are going to be able to deal enough damage to get rid of the enemies here, so... But yeah, as you can see, for right now, since Ingus got knocked out a little bit ago by those Sahagins, he's not quite gaining a level at the level that everybody else is gaining a level, so... But that's okay. Here's the Griffins again. It's just going to be problematic because he'll have less HP, which is not quite good for us, you know. So. And actually, I didn't have to buy a killer bow because there is one in Castle Argus, but I don't know if I have access to it just yet. I guess we'll find out when we go there, won't we? But yeah, if the enemy's flying, Lunith can definitely handle it right now. So. It looks like Eric is starting to get that agility that he should have as a thief. I think when we looked on his status screen, he had like 14 or 15 agility, which is not too bad. You know, I'm having Lunith burn quite a few iron arrows here, so I want to be a little careful with that. Let's see. 1442. Yeah, we should definitely go to Castle Argus, because we can get a whole bunch of money by going there, first of all. And second of all. Although, you know what I could do is... Nah, I'll walk. I was going to take the Chocobo there, but then I'm like, nah, you know what? I got to get money anyway. I might as well walk. Alright, so we'll do this and that. We'll have you take these guys out this time with, I guess, a Thunder spell. And then you can actually cast Cure on the whole party. Well, it won't really help Refia and Eric, who are a little low on HP, actually. Oh, now you're gonna get the final turn, huh, Angus? You lose out on the EXP battle, and all of a sudden you're the slowest guy on the team. I don't know, that might actually be, like, beneficial, considering the fact that he's the healer, though, because that means if he's slower, he heals us slower, and that's probably a good thing. But what do I know, right? Let's see, let's do that. There we go. Oh, I should actually mention that. It might be better to heal outside of battle. Because if I remember correctly, the way that they do healing potency in this game is that you actually heal for more HP outside of battle than you do inside of battle. I could be wrong about that, but that's, I think, if I remember correctly, how that works. So, alright, so you do that, you do that. The staff wasn't enough last time, so let's do this, and this, and this. We'll go see what's in this forest up here. I don't think that leads to Castle Argus, but we might as well check and see what it is first. And then we can always go back to our ship from where we're going now, and we can head up to Castle Argus. I think it's on a peninsula, if I remember correctly. Well, let's take a look. The living woods. Oh. What's with the giant hole in the ground? Are you sure about that? Oh. Huh. There's a tree that moves in the desert to the south, and the elder tree is missing. The plot thickens even more. Well, that's not good. Maybe we should help these fairies out a little bit, so that their woods don't die. Oh. Wonder how we're going to be able to do that. Maybe we'll have to look for a way to analyze enemies. And yeah, so the boss that took away the elder tree is called Hain, something like that. Probably Hain or Hein. Well, let's look. Hang on, let's see. Hain, because he has the E first. Hain. Although you could pronounce that just as easily as Hein, because Ein is spelled E-I-N in German. So we'll just call him Hein. But yeah, there we go. It actually literally tells you the elder tree is the wandering tree that's in the desert there. So, and this Hein guy is the one that put the curse on it. So we can't do anything here for right now, but we can come back later once the elder tree is, you know, maybe we can try to rescue the elder tree from the fact that it's been taken over. Now, you can actually go past the area there where the Living Woods is, and there's a river, but you can't go up the river there because there's a waterfall. It's kind of hard to see in this version, but there's a waterfall there. So, oh, that's another new enemy actually down there at the bottom. So, let's see, the flyer's weak to ice, so we'll just take him out that way. I think actually the Gorgons are also weak to ice, so we might as well use the ice staff on that one too. If they're not weak to ice, it should do good damage anyway. But yeah, as you can see, it might be better to grab some mage robes as soon as possible. Just because that'll be... I'm going to press a couple of buttons here. I'm trying to press a couple buttons to see if I can find the fast forward mode, because there is an auto mode on the select button, but maybe I just didn't, like, set the select button on the PSP emulator that I got. Yeah, that battle there probably gives you the most experience that you can get out of most of the enemies for right now, is that 230. So, it's a good chunk of experience in Gil, but not nearly enough to... Oh, there's another new enemy. Not nearly enough to get us to the place that we need to be. I'll bet you that lizard man's also weak to ice, so let's do that like that. And then why don't you actually use Cure real quick. Top us all off. Well, that's unfortunate, but it's fine. Okay, he's not weak to that. So probably better to attack the Gorgon. with that, then. Lunith can probably take the lizard man out himself, but that's okay. We'll just let you do fire there, and then I'll do another cure only on you. Because, yeah, everybody else is taking minimal damage there, but... Yeah, black magic in the early game here it's pretty good, actually. Deals some solid damage, so it looks like that lizard man was actually resistant to ice, but yeah, it deals some pretty solid damage, this black magic stuff, so... Alright, almost back to where we need to be. We'll just get on the ship, we'll go to Castle Argus. There's a healing point in the actual castle itself, so I'm not really super concerned about my MP for right now. We'll make it work. Alright, I think Lunith is attacking the Gorgon, so let's do that. I was gonna say, Mr. Lizard Man, if you want to get your turn before Angus heals everybody, that would be nice of you to do, but I get the feeling, yeah, that's going to happen instead. But at the very least, the money that we get from Castle Argus will let us go back to the Village of the Ancients and buy mage ropes, which will be helpful to us. So. Refia and Angus could really use an upgrade to their armor before we go to the Tower of Owen anyway. Oh, wow, Lunith didn't do enough damage to kill that guy. Alright, well. So it looks like it's still the Refia and Angus show in terms of the damage that they're outputting. I probably should have just had Angus use the staff, honestly. But that's okay. Pulling together a little bit of money while we're at it too, so that's not bad. Getting some job levels. Alright, 3, 2, 1, and then 9, 3, 1. Alright, we should have enough to get there. I don't think it'll be a problem. But I'm going to save anyway, just to be certain. Because then from here, we should be able to get back to some place where we can heal, even if it isn't Castle Argus. Like, it's like, oh, I can't make it there. Well, then I can just go to the Village of the Ancients. So, go and head this way. Okay, so let's do some of this and that. These guys are weak to thunder, just the same as pretty much every other enemy around here, if I remember correctly. And let's go down to the light staff and do that. There we go. Or Desh can just take them all out with Thundara. That would be nice. I don't think it's like fixed that he'll use Thundara out on the sea. I think it's random which one he uses, but hey, it's helpful when you get it, I guess. It's one less battle you gotta worry about. It's basically free money. Yeah, it looks like the enemies that are out on the world map give slightly more experience, if everything is similar to those hermits. So, we couldn't walk this way because there's mountains in the way, but if we go this way, here's the peninsula, and here's Castle Argus. So let's go see if we can wander around the castle and find some items. Matter of fact, before we go in, even, I'm going to get Air Cow preemptively, because if I remember correctly, there's some things in the castle that you can't get access to without a thief. So, just take a look around real quick, see if there's anything here. Doesn't look like it. I was gonna say, those flowers look suspicious, but actually, this is the suspicious part right here. I don't think you need a thief to do that part, but, well, just in case. Oh, okay, I see. So you can just wander right through the wall there. Grab some extra money. Hope the king isn't going to be too upset at the fact that I literally raided his entire storehouse, but, I think it'll be okay. Wow. More money. More money. Even more money. Okay, well, 100 is not so great, but I'll take that. So how's our money looking now? Yeah, that's much better. And we'll have a few things that we can sell by the time we're out of here as well, so. Well, looks like we found the rooftop. But yeah, these doors are locked. So unless you have... There's either two ways that you can unlock these doors. Either through a thief being in the front slot of your party, or through an item called a magic key, which we don't have access to yet. But we will have access to it later. And actually, I think you may be able to get access to it. No, you can't get access to it now, so you have to have a thief in order to unlock these doors. For now, that is. Later, you won't, but for now, you do. So. Huh, some books and some arrows. Interesting. Scholar rope. More books. And some fire arrows. Oops, sorry, I bumped the pop filter. Anything here that's worth... Invisible walls, maybe? No. There's no cracks in the walls, and there's nothing for me to pull, so... Alright, well, there's that. See if there's another locked door over here. Yep. So let's see what's in here. Somebody's writing room, maybe? Ah. A secret switch inside the wardrobe. Probably could have just walked through the wall instead, but I'll take it. More light arrows. Another killer bow. And Medusa arrows. Those are actually pretty good, if I remember right. You can't get those for a while. So we'll hold on to those for... Well, I don't think Luneth can even equip those, quite honestly. A lot of the, like, arrows... the warrior can't equip, but later on, yeah, as you can see, these arrows are pretty good. They're an upgrade over the fire, ice, and light arrows. They're non-elemental, and they can inflict petrify. It says gradual petrification, but I don't know what that means, because in this game, as far as I'm aware, there's no gradual petrification. You just petrify, so on the spot. Unfortunately, that scholar robe is not equipable by anybody, and also the books are not equipable by anybody either, so... Oh, you can equip the light staff. Okay, well that changes everything. Now you can just use those in battle. Alright. I don't even have to use your MP anymore. You can literally just... Here I am thinking, oh yeah, you gotta have mithril rods for your intellect, but I can just equip staves and you'll have high mind too. Okay. I wasn't thinking about that, my bad. I'm thinking they can't equip staves because she's a black mage, and usually staves are a white mage thing, but... I'll keep that in mind for later. Nothing over that way. I think we've gotten most of the items here, but let's just check the rest of the castle just in case there's anything worth finding. King Arthur's Round Table. Nothing in the spear rack. Yeah, it doesn't look like it, but I'll take a look outside anyway. This should be just like the courtyard area. Yeah. Although this one is where the healing points are, if I remember correctly. That's probably the life spring right there. And then here... Yeah, there we go. Is where the HP and MP restoration point is. So now we have full HP and MP. So we got some money out of this, and we got a full heal for free, so hey, nothing wasted. There's nothing here for me to go into. Right? Oh, okay, never mind. I was like, huh, maybe there's something over here too. And there is, as a matter of fact, a bomb fragment. And another Antarctic wind. And if you go this way, an Arctic wind. Now the Arctic wind is really interesting. So the Antarctic wind casts Blizzara, the Arctic wind casts Blizzaga. And I guess I might as well talk about it since we have two different items that cast two different, like, levels of spell now. If I remember correctly, the amount of damage that you deal with those items is consistent. It's not like... You don't need to have... Actually, probably if a mage uses them, it deals more damage because they have more intellect or mind. But you don't need to have higher job levels in order for the item to deal more damage. Basically, the job level does not play into the formula that is for items dealing damage. And that is really, really interesting because, well, there's a job that we'll see in a little while that just so happens to double the damage of items that you use in battle, or healing for items that you use in battle. Like if you use a high potion, it'll heal for 1,000 instead of 500. That also works on attack items. We don't have that job yet, but we will. I think probably here's a better place to put the ship since it's like in between. Because we don't need to go to Tokol for a little while. And we're going to the village now to go buy all those items up. Although I don't know if we'll be able to buy all of the items from there, but probably a good chunk of them. Okay, couple of lizard men. I can handle a couple of lizard men. I'm just gonna have you guard for right now. Because again, magic is still doing the damage. Oh, it didn't sort my stuff, so now all the books and stuff are down here. But yeah, there's the Arctic Wind, deals intense ice damage, whereas the Bomb Fragment deals regular fire damage, which means it casts Fyra when you use it as an item. So, yeah, there you go. It actually might be worth it now that I think about it, since Refia can equip staves, to just buy her, like, basically have 2 of each staff. Although I think you get some staves for free later, so... We'll just keep that in mind. Ow. Ow. Too bad, honestly, because, like, Eric isn't really getting a whole lot out of this in terms of job levels if he keeps going last, but... That being said, that won't be a huge problem for later. It's just, you know, the less job levels he gets, the less good items he can get access to by stealing. So, yeah, might as well do that. Steal with you. You can use fire on that thing, and then why don't you just top everybody off real quick? Or Dash can just kill them all with Thundara. Actually, I think he's probably, yeah, gonna use the katana. I think, if I remember right, it's random whether he uses the katana or Thundara, but when the enemy's weak to Thundara, I think he has a higher chance of using it. I could be wrong about that, though. Okay, gets rid of that one. Thank you, Desh, for that assist. And that one's done. But Eric still didn't get a turn. Oh, poor Eric. I promise he'll be useful for something later. It's just, for now, he's taking his sweet time, unfortunately. As is Ingus at gaining a level. At least he gets the most HP at the moment out of everybody. 72 he's behind by. So like I said, for a little while he'll be behind a little bit, but eventually it'll even out and he won't be behind that much anymore. Okay, it's not 2 Griffins, so that's a good thing, because if it was 2 Griffins, we probably wouldn't get the level for Ingus, because they don't give a whole ton of experience, but as it is now, probably be fine. But yeah, magic is pretty good in the beginning of the game. Even the basic level Fire, Ice, and Fire, Blizzard, and Thunder spells do some pretty solid damage, all things considered. It carries for a little while. Eventually, well, I don't actually know if it really eventually falls off until about 3/4 of the way through the game, now that I think about it. Because, I mean, if you have a Black Mage and a White Mage in your party, you're gonna have one for quite a while, because they don't really get like a class upgrade in this game until quite a ways away, so they actually learned from that though in Final Fantasy V, because as it turns out the class change is not quite the direct upgrade in this game as it was in Final Fantasy I. So, alright, anything new here now that we've been to Castle Argus? Nope. Okay. That's fine. Let's see here. We don't really need a heal at the moment. We can always heal at Castle Argus on our way up. Let's go to the shops that we didn't get stuff from. We did get all the stuff, I think, from the weapons shop. I should probably go buy armor, actually, before I go buying magic, because how much will we really need Fyra, Blizzara, and Thundara, right, for a little while? We probably will eventually need them, but we don't really have a lot of spell slots for them, so we might as well just buy this stuff instead. I could sell stuff, because I don't think you can sell stuff with the magic shop, but I could be wrong about that. Alright, we don't need a gnomish bread. Don't need this killer bow, so that's a cool 2,000 gil that just went back in my pockets. I'm going to hold on to the books. We might have a use for those later. I haven't decided yet whether I'm going to use that class or not that can equip them. Also, the Scholar Robe, we'll hold on to that for a little while because it might be there. I really like that class. The only thing is that, like, it won't be an ultimate class if I keep the party the way that I'm thinking I'm going to keep it. So I don't really know how I'm going to deal with that. We'll see. Anyway, let's buy some armor. So flame mail. I probably could have afforded the flame, like waited till I could afford the flame mail, then pass the shell armor down to Eric to save myself 1,250 gil. But you know, it's okay. Mage's robes are the main upgrade that we wanted there, so let's put those on. I think if I remember right, the flame mail, I think I might have said this already, but it gives you resistance to fire. So if I didn't say that, I think it does. And if it does, that's really nice, because that'll be a solid thing to have for a little while. So I probably should have sold my stuff, actually, before we left. So let's do that now. Okay, don't need the shell armor. No. Don't need either of these leather armors. And that's it. Alright, cool. And we should have enough to buy a couple of spells. Teleport, definitely. Although, really, we don't. I mean, okay, so teleport doesn't do what it did in Final Fantasy II, unfortunately. Kind of like how you can't use mini in battle. Teleport does not act as instant death. It just teleports the party out of a dungeon, which could be useful, but also could not be useful, you know? So, but we should have enough, I think, to buy all of these now. So, yeah, just that. So there we go. We've got almost all of the magic up to level 3, white and black. So. Okay, and then you learn. I'll just do it this way. No, actually, let's do it this way. There we go. Okay, so I think that's good. There is one thing that we are missing, though, and to be quite honest with all of you, I don't even remember where I'm supposed to find it. But that's okay, because I can always call it a day now, find where I'm supposed to find it, and then we can go find the thing that we need in order to enter the Tower of Owen, since that's where it seems like all roads are pointing at the moment, and then we can, you know, see what's going on up there, see if we can learn more about the crystals, and see if we can learn more about this pillar that's apparently holding up this entire continent on the next episode of Final Fantasy III, the Stream Edition, which will be happening tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So thank you for watching, everybody. I appreciate you checking out the stream. And as I said, I'll see you all on the next one, which will be tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Until then, take care, and have a good one. We really just, like, faffed around for the last hour of this stream, didn't we? Maybe I should have, like, actually spent some time figuring out where I was supposed to go today instead of sleeping, but quite honestly, I think the sleep is probably healthier for me. It's not that I don't enjoy playing this game, but God, I was tired, boss.